Welcome to the January 12th, 2017 Conservation Commission meeting. Please join me in pledge of allegiance to our nation's flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Any changes to the agenda?
No, other than the date.
Motion to accept agenda is written.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Let's skip meeting minutes for now. Any announcements?
No, we can get to the crowd.
Any accounts payable?
A few. We have, I need you guys to sign off on Pete formally, even though it was all square otherwise. They still want you guys to sign off on that.
I think we have to sign off on actually everything that,
Yeah. And then I spent $5.
Did what?
Found an old map with a wetland that I'd never seen before on it, a pond specifically.
Really?
Yeah, it's where the housing authority is, where they put all their stuff. There used to be a little pond there. It was turns out it was 0001, and we denied it, and the state overrode and let them fill in the wetland.
what year is that?
Like 71, maybe 70.
That was the first
0001
filing, really? Wow.
was the superseded.
Okay, we have an invoice for payment for our conservation helper, Mr. Pete McLaughlin,
How do you spell his last name?
McLaughlin. So it's 100 hours at $12 an hour for $1,200. Those are the correct numbers.
Yep.
Okay. Motion to pay.
Second.
Any discussion?
Nope.
So, Brian said he's done?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
On his last day in, he was on his like 99th and a half hour. It was pretty perfect.
Oh,
And he touched everything we had.
Yeah.
yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it was helpful.
Yeah.
That's money well spent.
Here we have reimbursement to Brian for one large format copy and one scan, $5 each, plus tax, $10.63.
$10.63.
Yes. Motion to pay.
Not a lot of reimbursement tax, right?
Actually, I also think that might be a bill. I don't think I actually paid that. That's an approval for the town to pay it.
Okay.
It's a what?
That's just
You just signed for it.
yeah.
Okay.
So will they be sending an invoice, or?
That's the idea, but they're a little unpredictable like that.
So we can't pay it without the invoice.
That's the thing. I don't know if they just handed me that and said, yeah, okay.
Yeah, there shouldn't be any tax.
Yeah, you're right.
So you want me to just bring it back?
Yeah.
Yeah, the proper invoice. Can
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. 7:15. Request for certificate of compliance 100-0259 Pheasant Circle.
Wait, what is, okay, what's the full address?
It's Pheasant Circle, the whole thing.
Oh, okay.
And here's the.
Can I request in our future agendas that we also include the applicant's names?
Sure.
Yeah, because I think it makes a difference for people also and me too.
It saves time for you.
Yeah. But also,
Yeah, and
anybody,
everybody-
somebody
and everybody-
might not know an address, but they're looking for so-and-so's thing, so.
Okay.
All right.
Basically on, when we did that project, when I was digging into some file work to get Eagle's Nest completed as well, which I haven't forgotten about, I noticed that we had done, there was two DEP numbers for that property originally. One was issued because it was 5-lot subdivision, and we was able to get another lot out front off of it, so we got another DEP number in order of conditions. Lot 1A through Lot 1 through 4 already has partial certificates of compliance. So we're basically looking for the 5th lot, and there's the as-built that the engineer gave us to it. And hopefully that will complete the certificate of compliances for Pheasant Circle.
And he's actually just a little bit wrong. The 5th lot was half partial certified. So the house on lot 5 was certified, not the basin behind it.
So that's why, what we have in here is just the basin.
So that's the basin.
Yeah.
So we actually have a certificate for Lot 5 itself? It's just
No, not for the lot, right? No, just for the house. So like the front of the lot. I don't know how it looks. This is better.
Okay.
Was that a replication area?
No,
No.
no, they didn't do any replications. I went out, had a look, got stuck in the thorns. The only thing that didn't go according to plan is the stuff he put in to sort of screen the basin. Looks to have been replaced by the homeowner with something more to their liking.
Is vegetation or?
Yeah, there's a fence and some trees.
Okay.
Artful.
Any other questions?
And then this closes this file number out completely.
And that's it.
So the DEP thing, the order of conditions covered 5 lots,
There was-
and you've got,
Correct. The original order of conditions was 5 lots.
okay.
And the Pheasant Circle part, there was a little bit of the Pheasant Circle roadway in the buffer area. So there was one number issued for that. And then we broke out another lot up front, which became 1A, and we've got a separate number for that, which has a certificate of compliance done already.
Yeah, so essentially this is good housekeeping.
Yeah.
Cleaning Brian's cabinets out front.
I'm full favor. We can hang out.
So Brian, is this a complete certification? or
Yeah,
partial?
that's a full.
It's a full, okay.
And it's a funny full because let's say it's actually certifying maybe 15%
Right.
of the land involved because the rest got a partial some way or another.
Gotcha.
Motion to approve, issue the certificate of compliance.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Uh,
All right.
All right, thank you.
No, you guys sign that and notarize it, and I'll get it recorded and bring back the info to you. Is that how you work this now? or-
It
Yeah.
no longer needs to be notarized, but it does need to be recorded by you. so-
Okay.
Yeah.
So once you guys sign it, I can put that and
Yeah, I just need to actually
Get it recorded.
fill it out.
fill it out.
Well, in merit speaking, I can't hand it to you. No,
We're signing a blank.
So we don't have to pick that up tomorrow?
if you want.
Okay.
Give me an excuse to hang out with you.
Drill me some more, huh? All right. I see your plan. Thank you.
Do you want to, just while we're sitting here, do you want to talk about West Main?
Sure.
And then you guys can go.
Do we have a notice of intent?
No. This is, if you recall, this is more of a discussion topic for later on in the evening, but
This is
I don't, they don't have to wait if you want to just shift this forward.
up to the chair.
Yeah.
What are we discussing?
Bill saw a bobcat in the backyard off of West Main, and he had me go out and have a look.
Okay. All right,
So you want to bump this up in the agenda?
Yeah, just shift it.
Is that okay with you, Mr. Chair?
yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah, and then these guys can be done
All right,
instead of making them wait another hour and a half.
so what do we find?
And your name is?
Dave Canny.
Dave.
Yep.
But you're Dave Cannon.
That's right, Dave Kane Jr., that's correct.
Second.
That's right. Are you fine?
Good, how are you?
Good.
But yeah, so there was a machine in the backyard near the wetland, and there was a pile of stuff in the backyard, and you can see from the street. And so I sent a letter, and these guys came back, told me their story, and now it's time to tell them.
Yeah, so pretty much I had my little excavator Bobcat in my backyard. I had some time. Part of my driveway is paved, part of it's not. It's kind of gravel. So before the winter came, it gets all rutted up, and that's where I usually park my plow and my truck. So I had some time. I wanted to kind of just clear up all the potholes. And I had a pile of brush in the back of my truck, so I actually dumped it right there, hoping to get a permit to burn that. I didn't get a permit for a few days because too windy of conditions. So anyways, he just happened to drive by at the perfect time and saw a pile of brush.
The pile of brush is gone now.
It is, yeah.
Well, what's the address on this?
127 West Main.
So Brian, you see no need for further administrative action?
Seems all right.
Okay. Any questions?
Do you have pictures?
Well, from the street, yeah. And it's from the street it could make sense, and it could look like something, but as it was, the thing might simply be that maybe just like a quick heads up, because with the wetland and with the street,
Sure.
just even if it's a non-issue,
Yeah.
then I know. So when Bill calls again and says, hey, blah blah blah,
Yeah.
that might just be a handy thing to do.
Yep, definitely will. Absolutely.
So we're just looking at 2 weeks jail time and a minimum fine?
He's available right now, not this spring.
Go have some hard labor over at my house.
Ah.
I need my backyard
I have
cleared
some
out.
things too.
We can take care of that.
Did you give him a card?
All right, thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay. Yep. Thank you very much.
All right. Abbreviated notice of resource area delineation, DEP number 100-0397, 53 Willow Road and 186 Littleton Road.
This one, I'll hold on to this. Takashi, I know you want to see that. Make sure you ask for everybody's name.
Hi, Mika Lassila from S. Chamberlain Engineering, and also Duchesne Lang is here. He had delineated the wetlands on the property, the resource areas, and for you certificates of mailing.
Can
Can you spell your name for me?
Mikael, and then last name Lassila.
IOA?
ILA.
And you've got the legal notice check?
Yeah, he does.
How much? I gotta check.
Oh.
It was 79 and some change.
Yeah. Might have to wait. I have to go upstairs and look at that. It's not a note I brought with me.
I got it in my folder.
I'll throw it.
Because I think I forwarded you the email.
Yeah.
So the property here is, we have 5 parcels of land. North Country Developers owns 3 of them, and Aruthio owns the other 2. What we're looking to do is establish our constraints of the property. Outlined in red is the perimeter of all 5 parcels. Here we have Littleton Road. North is oriented in this direction, and this is Willow Road. Bennett's Brook comes through the property and crosses Willow Road. Duchesne flagged for us the wetlands in the top of the bank on both sides of Bennett's Brook, and then we survey located those flags and also ran the geodetic elevation to determine the floodplain, 100-year floodplain. So what we are here before you is to establish these constraints prior to any alterations or anything being done on the property. If you have any questions, and one of our main concerns is now, again, time of year. I realize that vegetation is hard to determine, to confirm some of the wetland lines and also soils and frost in the ground. But the main concern here, or the main limitation to the property, is the 200-foot riverfront zone, which is this green line here. And that encompasses a good portion of the property. So that's the most restrictive on all the parcels. So if the top of bank were to be witnessed and concur, that would be helpful, because what our client is looking to do is do some tree cutting and clearing on this side of the property in the near future. And this is the time of year you'd want to be doing that anyway, keep the ground frozen, less of a mess in the spring.
All right.
Can I
Comments?
ask a couple questions?
Sure.
So outside the 200-foot riverfront buffer, so to the right,
Yes. to the north.
so is the clearing a prerequisite for another activity, or?
He's looking to take advantage of the season right now, to do some clearing. This is the time that most loggers do their clearing. So we're trying to establish these constraints. You know, where are the resource areas? Where is the wetland line, 100-year floodplain, and the most restrictive on the property is the riverfront.
Okay.
So you want to clear, it's all forested right now?
This used to be, you can see curb cuts here for driveways. There used to be some trailers on the property, so there is clearing out there. This old farmhouse here, their boat and yard, and I think they're probably doing some encroachment. They're coming, it's mainly lawn right in this area here. There's some wooded area in the back.
And so you want to do the wooded, you want to clear the wooded area now?
Yes, this over the winter.
Is it going to be completely cleared, or?
No.
Okay, because it seems, I can't
It
read the
gets
steep.
Yes, we haven't had all the topography
Yeah.
done. Yeah, it starts to climb up here. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fairly level. Yeah, the steeper portions of the property. Yeah, we would be clear cutting that.
So the clearing would be outside the 200-foot.
Correct.
Yeah, basically all we want to do is, there's 3 lots now, there's enough frontage for 4 lots easy. I just want to get the lots that would be, at least these 2, if not the third one too, cut and graded and ready to go for first thing in the spring for building. That's it.
Yeah, most of the wetlands is kind of public bank, it's not that difficult to establish, just lots of riders go through.
When did you delineate it?
I think
Beginning of
it's-
November, I think, to
Yeah. On the
November
report.
17th is the date.
Yeah, November 17th was the first day it was here. So the top of bank, you don't need to use the vegetation, so. Lots of here is kind of filled, especially on the southern side, it's pretty much very steep slope.
but this is north.
Oh,
North.
that's north, that's the south,
Yep, that's the southern bank.
right. So there's a window, right, yeah, around this is very steep bank, so. The same thing over here,
Well-defined channel.
right, yeah, the brook, so the wetlands, that's encroaching into a little bit onto, not just follow the top of bank, but just coming up a little bit.
Brent had informed me too that this portion of the property, there had been a dam here.
Right,
built
yeah,
on it.
yeah.
So,
Right, exactly,
so you can, the area was disturbed historically. This is the area that he's talking about.
right, yeah, this area probably used to be the wetlands, but, the pond is probably ponded to the wetland line. So if you're looking at USGS map, it shows a pond, so, you know,
Are we concerned about the aquifer protection area, the defined? Yeah, because it
This
seems,
is the aquifer
Yeah.
protection zone.
yeah,
And what we're, the proposed use, it's resident, it's A2 zoning, so the proposed uses are allowed in that district.
okay.
you probably in the phase when you design anything here, probably want to get some groundwater recharge from the roof. So that's the best thing, you know,
Mhm.
to mitigate.
And in the future, if any development that occurs on there with the grades climbing up, I mean, just like across the street, there's 2 houses here,
Mhm,
you're gonna wanna be closer to the street.
mhm, mhm.
we agree with, we all want to go out and look at it. Yeah.
Just a question, what was your name?
Nika,
Nika, could you restate what you said about the flood zone you
the flood zone is in this area here.
so that's the 100-year
Yes,
flood
100
elevation?
years, yes.
And so it was not established?
It is,
on the-
it is,
It is established on the flood map?
Yep.
Okay.
Is that the corrected map?
as in, they wanted the label, there's a labeling error.
Okay,
And
that,
it's a typo.
okay, good, yeah, it said X on
Yeah,
there.
Yeah,
X
that's
would be
correct.
500.
That's
Yeah.
correct.
Okay, so where it says flood zone X, that's actually a
100 year, that's a
100
100
flood
year,
zone with
that's a
an
100 year
with an
flood zone.
elevation?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the
Depending
one
which
comment that
datum
came
you,
back from
yeah,
DEP.
and they spelled the clients, they spelled north incorrectly. So, tit for tat.
But yeah, the latest one's probably NAVD 88, also the FEMA's.
Correct. But either way, in this area, the datums are the older, the 1929 datum.
Yeah.
The conversion, we hit both of them. It doesn't really,
Doesn't change much.
Within
It
a
doesn't
foot-
change.
Within a
There's a
foot,
set-
yeah,
there's a 7-inch
0.73,
change.
something like
but it doesn't change where it occurs. It's
Right.
just whatever your elevation, the elevation. And this entire street, all the sewers and everything are based on the 29 datum. So,
that. With a minimum difference. Yeah, but I think it's a
I think
point
the
seven,
definition is that much, but-
about 0.7
Okay.
feet higher.
All right, so we need to talk to our chairman, see when he's available to come out to visit. We're meeting next week, right?
Tuesday.
Tuesday
Yeah, it's
for
not
the
on
bylaw chat.
here. Yeah, so we can set up a time then. Even-
yeah, because I'd like to take advantage of, and the client would, for the mild conditions that, I understand that if you want to do your soils and just confirm, go out there and take the auger out, but even now the frost is letting up, so I mean, just what you can do that.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Yeah.
Busy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so,
so the availability, we're crossing our fingers that even this coming weekend, but if the chairman's out,
yeah, so
if he wants to,
hopefully next
he makes
weekend.
that call.
Do you guys have any scheduling restraints on your end?
It's just, I guess, just sooner rather than later, and just, otherwise, if we get 3 feet of snow and then we're pushed off till April.
So, knowing Bill's habits, the most likely time would be, like a Saturday, 8 or 9 a.m. kind of thing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so,
And that would work?
Deshane, would
Yeah,
that-
yeah, this Saturday's fine. Yeah, it's-
Well, not this
It would
Saturday.
it would be the Saturday?
no. So it would be hopefully next Saturday, but
Well, that would be probably, the 28th? Am I doing my numbers right?
14th,
21st.
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 Yeah, either 21st or 28th.
But yeah, so I could say confirm that.
Okay, so I have a
Email.
question there. Can we just make a point on the map here where I could start cutting away on the right? That's well away from anything that anybody's worried about? If we're gonna wait till the 21st or the 28th, or whenever we'll wait until?
Yeah, I think it's probably, the riverfront probably won't be really much of a difference, because it's pretty.
Well, we can't give you anything official. I mean, anything you do would be at your own risk. But,
But what, if I'm cutting over here,
If you keep from
If
this
I'm-
point out.
if
probably
I'm cutting from here
yeah,
over, is
pretty-
that much of a risk?
Not much.
Okay.
Not much. I would say not much, because the river is not going to change it that much.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
so after Tuesday, we can get back in touch with you and tell you
Okay.
when we're.
So we'll continue until,
Yeah, we'll move this to the next one, and then hopefully I can send you an email, early-ish on Wednesday, saying that these guys have all agreed to a time, most likely an early Saturday thing.
Yeah, early would be good. I have something else scheduled 21st.
but even daylight wise, you want to get it done sooner, earlier in the morning anyway.
Right.
I'm not available on the following Saturday.
Okay, 28th.
This coming Saturday is the
14th.
14th.
20,
I can do the 14th, I can't do the 21st.
Okay.
I can't do the 21st either. I could do the 22nd,
that's a Sunday.
but, you know,
I can do the 22nd.
we do sometimes, we have sometimes done some
Yeah.
Sundays, but
And then you guys don't mind if I go for a walk, obviously.
Well, that's, like, we'd like that was.
Yes, that would be
Have
awesome.
If you have
guys-
some time this week, I mean,
Yeah,
so
Yeah, I
Saturday,
mean,
maybe
Brian,
we
you
can,
can walk
Yeah.
there, take the auger and
get out there before you guys.
yeah,
Yeah.
when we did our sidewalks in Groton this past week, and the ground was still pretty easy to probe into, so.
you want
That's what
to-
I'm like,
Yeah, you don't
this
wanna.
next week is,
Well, I do work on Saturdays,
It's
just
gonna
not
get cold
here.
again, I think, next week, so.
yeah, we have a good 10-day, probably a week to 10 days that it looks mild.
Yeah,
And what's your availability during the week? I mean, if you want to coordinate with,
So which day you are thinking of, so.
I'm a little more flexible, but we can work that out.
yeah,
on the
if you
side.
two work that out, I personally wouldn't, I could be there anytime if you need me, but
Alright,
if you pick a time that between the two of you,
cool.
and I can leave you the full-size plans that you want to take those.
And then if I come up with anything, I'll send you guys an email.
I'm good with that.
Okay.
And then we'll still
And
try
we'll be
and
meeting
plan
Yeah.
a
on
group
Tuesdays.
walk, so at some point.
Okay, yeah, and even if that group walk ends up
Yeah,
being pushed
if
later,
Tuesday works, I mean, so I will try to, I gotta check on my phone, I left it. That's
I've got your email.
recording it.
okay, so we'll continue.
All right, why don't you
Thank you.
just send a quick text to the chair, maybe he'll get back to us.
Oh, before the end of the,
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
well, you're gonna be here, you have a few other things on the agenda,
Right.
so if
Yeah,
If
we're
it
occupying
works.
him.
you're gonna occupy him,
Yeah, if this Saturday works, I make myself.
he can
I don't know if you've
either
got my number, but call me or.
email us and, yeah.
Is there any preferred access? Well, what, let's.
It's very easy to access into this.
Yeah,
This is the,
we can park
There's
over here.
there's curb cuts here from the trailers that used to be in here,
Right.
so
Yeah, it's just wide open.
okay.
You can
Yeah.
Easy
Park
parking,
it
easy
here
parking, and it
come.
looks like you're on the neighbor's lawn, but you're not. Because the house is, how they cut the line is real close to the line, so. Cool. Me to the house.
All right.
All right, well, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, yeah, he has all your information.
All right, abbreviated notice of resource area delineation.
We have to continue, that's public hearing.
It's not a hearing, or is it?
And resolution.
Yeah, it is, all right, motion to continue.
Yeah, move continue to Tuesday,
17th.
12 plus 14 is 26.
January,
No, next Tuesday.
no.
Oh.
I thought we were,
Yeah, it should be, we're not gonna,
Oh,
Special-
if you want to bring it up at the special
Okay, no,
meeting.
no, no.
No, the,
what, our next regular meeting?
yeah.
Okay, so I move to continue to Thursday the 26th.
26th,
Okay.
right,
Second,
second.
all in favor?
I
Aye. All right, abbreviated notice of resource area delineation, 0 Washington Street.
Evening. Everything you said about wanting the sidewalk, we'll just have the same discussion we just had.
It's assumed.
It'll be a deja vu.
New cards.
Yeah, well, especially the check too.
Well, he's mailing you the check.
He's mailing me the check.
Yes.
Checks in the mail.
Checks in the
Check's in the
mail.
mail.
Do you believe
Well, we're
him?
not closing this tonight, so you don't have to
Did you
worry
get the
about
check
it.
for the previous one?
Yeah, it's right here. I'll double check even filled it out, I'm pretty sure.
So we are looking at two parcels of land, one here and one here. This is Washington Street, comes up and around. You can see here, this is the Madigan Lane development. Just on the other side of that is the hospital. So that hospital, the high school's down here. And this is the power lines in the large wetland area around it. We've been on power lines and come across and go up the hill behind the transfer station. So that's where we're located. We have flagged wetlands all along this boundary in here, and that's the subject of our ANRAD today, to try and pin down those wetlands. These parcels have, this parcel has frontage from here down around the corner. It's down to this point right here. It's a little over 500 feet, so there is frontage enough for 2 A&R lots. There's actually frontage for 5 A&R lots, but we don't have area for that. There's an upland area here that we're looking at for a couple of house lots with a driveway coming down following the old Harbor Road right-of-way. It's has reverted to ownership back to the abutters, except that there are still easement rights in that right-of-way. We own half of it. I'm still working with our surveyor to understand exactly what those rights are. Maybe we need to put whatever driveway we put on our half only. We'll have to, we're still trying to sort that out. But in any case, we want to get these wetlands pinned down and memorialized so that then we can do our driveway design, which will involve, right at this point in here, a little bit of wetland crossing, wetland filling. We were hoping not, but that's the way it turned out, that there's just that one little finger coming up from there. We're going to try and use big block retaining walls in there to minimize the amount of disturbance that we have to do. We're hoping to keep it under a couple thousand square feet. We may be able to do less than that once we get into it and into the actual design. These were flagged by Dave Crossman. He is, as you know in his letter that he sent us that we include in our package, he'll be out on the site when we do a site walk so we can do auger samples. He said it was very rocky. He had a tough time getting good samples in there. So that's why he wants to walk the site with and be able to show you exactly what he found.
Very interesting area for house lots.
It's actually very pretty back here. It's
I
very
know,
nice. It looks
but-
out over the wetland.
But you're overlooking power lines, very big power lines.
Big power lines, but also a big open wetland area. And it wouldn't be, you'd still have a fair amount of woods between us and the edge of the wetlands and the edge of the power lines. So.
What you have labeled as Old Harbor Road, is that where, if you were on the sidewalk,
Yep.
there's a little
Cut.
break?
Yep.
Yeah, okay, so
There's
that's.
a break right there, and
Yeah.
there's a little pathway going
Yeah,
down.
okay, so that's Old Harbor Road.
That's
Okay.
That's it.
So where's the little path?
There's a break in the guardrail right about here,
Uh-huh.
and you've actually noted on the plan, there's a pathway that goes on right along the edge of the.
Oh, it's, okay.
And then when you get up in here, there's pathways all through here, and then the property in the back all goes in through here. But this is a sloping hillside down this way. The driveway would run by necessity, would run in here and right along this northern edge into here. We'll try and keep a buffer between there and the houses on the other side. And this area is the same zone as over here, which is it's a 12,000 square foot lot. So we have very small lots, 100-foot frontages, so we'll have no problem just getting the 2 lots that we're looking for. They'll be nice sized lots. I think they'll probably be close to an acre.
So I walked under the power lines just right before Christmas.
Okay.
And it seemed to me at that time, the wetland underneath the power line connected pretty significantly to the wetland that you're.
This is the wetland on the power line.
I know.
This is all one big wetland.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt. It's all the same thing.
Yeah. Wetland.
And then
Right,
down
right,
on this other parcel, on the other side of this parcel is the rail trail.
right,
And there's a culvert under the rail trail.
right.
From this wetland to the wetland on the other side where
Yeah.
the beaver dam is.
Yeah.
So it's all connected.
Yeah.
Any questions?
I think we have to see it.
I've just one more question.
Yeah.
Cal, sorry to bring up the audience, just one more question. When you come down that, say you're on the sidewalk and you jump into the old road,
Yep.
it kind of goes down and then it comes back up?
Yep.
Is that right? Where is, pointing out so I don't go blind looking at the elevations, where is that sort of,
Well, it's kind of a gentle downhill to about here.
Yep.
And then it runs, the lowest part is right here.
Right, okay.
It's kind of level in here and then it starts climbing back up in this area.
Okay.
I didn't know if the public could ask questions.
Sure.
I'm Ken Diskin, I live in the lot that's next to that, not
This one.
Mr. Madigan's
Could
lot.
you spell
but
your-
the one next to it. But that corner is drawn on your drawing.
This,
And could you
I walk
spell
this
your
all the
last,
time, so.
could you spell your last name, sir?
Diskin. The one, I'm in the butter, now, that's the corner of my lot there.
show me on this. So it's this
That
one.
lot right there.
I'm sorry, this-
419.
Yeah, okay.
So the road, the little pathway you're talking about,
Yeah,
I'm interested in your question about the ownership of that pathway. So
right.
you said it reverted back to
I think,
your owners?
I think half and half. Typically what happens is that when this is discontinued or abandoned, then the ownership in the middle of that half reverts to this abutter and half reverts to that abutter.
So there is documentation that the former old Harbor Road has reverted back.
I believe so, yeah.
Well, that's, believe is a big word.
Do you think it has?
I don't know.
Oh, I think it has. But that's what I'm asking.
I'm
the
asking that
surveyor.
I mean, I think that's, the whole deal is based on whether that is still a paper road in the town of Ayer or the ownership has.
We're
changed.
not trying to make any claim that it's a road.
Okay.
There's no frontage rights on it. Any frontage that we get has to come off of this road. That is not a road, I can guarantee you that.
So then you're gonna have to rework this lot to create frontage on Washington Street for that parcel
Yes,
back there.
exactly.
Okay, so the engineering will change on these two lots?
Absolutely.
To shape them up?
Yeah.
Good.
And we haven't,
They just put a piece down here and hang it
Exactly,
around and
right.
whatever.
yeah. But we are not using this for frontage.
Okay. So, but you won't be able to build back here if you don't determine the ownership of that piece right there.
Oh, we've got to determine that, yeah. Because when we go, I mean, all
It's
we're
too
doing.
narrow to get
Oh, I know.
from here. You need to get on that side to get
Oh,
out of the
absolutely.
wetland.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Yeah, and this is all, I mean, all we're trying to do now is pin down the edge of the wetlands. We've got to go to planning board to rework the lots and
I'm
do a
surprised you said it
driveway
was
design.
12,000 square feet. I don't know where the zoning line changes, but these are,
Changes right along Madigan Lane.
okay, because I know these lots are much bigger than that.
Those are much bigger, that's right. And these will be bigger too, these aren't gonna be
Yeah.
that small.
Okay, so the trick is really that,
That's the trick. You're absolutely right.
Any more questions? So, like we said before, we'll try and set up
If you want to, if you're doing a sidewalk during the week, and I can line up with Mr. Crossman, that'd be great. And if, whatever you decide on the weekend, if it's the 22nd, or, I'm not around the 28th, but that doesn't mean we'll get somebody from our office. But I agree, the sooner the better, because we're not going to stay this long, very much longer.
Yeah, Cal, the only thing to add is that the schedule changed for me, and now I've actually got posted field and office hours.
I saw it, yeah.
Yeah, so if you can just try to like in the field hours section, theoretically, it's fair game.
Okay, so if Crossman, if I get him out here to walk it with you, then do you guys want Crossman to walk as well with you?
Yeah,
But one question, and I anticipate Bill would say this too, is often like, can we determine what we need to determine this time of year on wetlands? Dr. Sheed?
You never know. It's possible, like I said, the ground conditions are suitable for doing your soil profiles to either confirm with the.
And the
What
details
about-
on this one, it's written up in the letter. Essentially, it's the boundary of the wetland is a change in the elevation. You know, it's not necessarily a gradual shift. It's kind of it's a step up.
It's pretty abrupt.
And so
Yeah,
depending on
topographic, breaks you
Mhm.
can see,
Okay.
that kind of thing.
Yeah.
so depending on
and
those
if we can't,
details.
then we'll
Yeah.
just say we need more information and pull you off.
But, you know, as far as doing a sidewalk, I think, given the conditions that you can still have a productive sidewalk.
Yeah.
It won't go for
Yeah.
much longer.
Right, but
We
we
might
want to take
get another
it.
week
Yeah.
out of it, we'll
Yeah.
be real happy.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I just anticipated Bill would say sometimes we have to postpone things till we can actually see, but if it's clear enough.
Yeah, I think we
Yeah.
walked out there, there's not snow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't-
It's probably all melted right now.
Yeah.
It's
In a
gone.
typical
Yeah.
winter, I mean, what
It's
we're
wet.
seeing
Right now
currently
it's wet,
is
yeah.
better than what we typically see.
Okay?
Okay? All right, thank you.
All right, so we'll be in touch, thank you very much.
Cool.
Motion to continue.
Maybe we continue to.
The 26th.
Thursday, the 26th.
26th. Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, notice of intent, DEP 100-0396 East Main Street, Falls Pond Dike repairs.
Brian, I think you gave me Duke's duplicate here.
It's possible.
Thank you. I'm Mark Wetzel with the Town of Ayer Department of Public Works. It's Tom Mahana from Ty and Bond and Katie from Ty and Bond. Katie was the one who prepared the notice of intent. This project relates to the, as you probably know, the Route 2A Littleton Road, just when you come out of the rotary, is also the Balch Pond Dam, and we have an outlet structure. It's classified as a significant hazard, class 2. So we do semi-annual inspections on it. We did a phase 1 inspection on the dam itself and also the dike. So. And we can show you the dam and the dike, but I'll just give you a little background on why we're doing this project. And I'll point out, there's some question as to who owns the dam part, which is where the road is. I believe if someone has a road on top of the dam, that they probably own the dam, but Mass DOT is kind of wavering on that, so they say that we own it. But we do own the outlet structure and the dike which runs along the King's driveway side of the pond. So Mass DOT had a phase 2 dam and dike study done, which really looks at a more detailed analysis than the phase 1 and looks at what you need to do to stabilize the dam and make sure it's not going to fail. And that was done about 2 years ago. 2014. So what we are trying to do is keep moving ahead with some of the recommended work so that the DEP doesn't give us an enforcement order. So we appropriated money to do some work on the dike. And so that's what this project is. So because there's no question that the town of Ayer owns the dike, or the question is who owns the dam and who's going to pay to do that work. So I do have money in my budget way down the road for some dam work, but the dike work I think is pretty important also because as you notice when you drive by, there's some big pines growing there. Mm-hmm. Those pines blow down, that uproots the soil, and now there's a hole in the dike. So then the Balch Pond Dam can start draining down, and all of a sudden Bonnie's going to have a much bigger lawn.
Well, enlarge the house.
So anyway, so that's basically the background on why we're doing the project. I think it's probably a pretty good project to make sure that we're safeguarding the community and the ponds as part of doing this. So why don't you talk more specifics on what actually we're doing?
Okay. Could I get your name again? Katie
Wilkins. Wilkins. So just for reference of the plan here, you have East Main Street, lower portion, you have the King's facility up at the top. Here's the driveway to the King's facility. Balch Pond is right here. You have the actual dam right in this area. And then this portion up on this side is actually where the dike is. So we delineated bank along the dike itself, and then there's a BVW right up in this northern portion. There's a culvert right at the top of the property, or top of the north side of the wetland, and then there's one further kind of to the east of it, and it flows underneath the driveway.
Hold on a second, just,
Yep.
You said that's the dike? Is the 15 wide access path, is that the dike as well, or is it just the big blow?
Just the
dike?
big blow.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
So you can see in some of the pictures, there's also in section C, there's also more pictures that in the narrative that you can see a little bit closer. It's a little bit more helpful. So you can see the top of the dike is right here. You can see all the pines. And it's probably about-ish between 20 feet wide. But the way to access that is off of East Main Street. There is an easement on the assessor's plans. You can see an easement, right-of-way easement around the pond. So we're going to access through there. We're going to have to cut some vegetation to get into there. We would have been able to get from the Kane's property, but that also involves going on someone's private property, and we would rather not be on private property just for our own reasons. And plus, the wetland's right here, so it'd be easier just to hop in here. They're going to be clearing their access route. It's going to be 15 feet wide. We plan on putting straw wattles, staking straw wattles on either side of the access to maintain our work area, as well as along just at the top of the bank of the pond, as well as the general work area. So what's there now? There's a ton of pines, really, really large ones. There's probably about a 30 DBH pine that's already down on the side of the dike. So the Office of Dam Safety is the one who does all these regulations and regulates what considers poor, what things you need to fix. So they definitely don't like vegetation on dikes and embankments because of the issues that Mark had addressed before, where if you have blowovers, then you have roots causing issues by pulling up all the sediment. A lot of the vegetation growing on also provides habitat, which isn't necessarily the greatest thing for burrowing animals in earthen embankments. And just for general dam inspections, because they have to be done on a relatively regular basis, semi-annually.
We do
so.
them every 6
So
months.
it depends on who does it. Thankfully, they actually do theirs on a regular basis. There's a lot of places that don't. It also helps with dam inspections. So if you don't have a bunch of brush and everything else, you can actually see what's going on with your structure. So that's why Office of Dam Safety suggests that the vegetation be removed, and they suggest that it be removed 20 feet from the actual structure itself. So from the dike out 20 feet on either side, they suggest vegetation be removed. So that's what we have planned here. Plan on accessing from East Main Street, cutting in an access road. All the area that's hatched here in the white is going to be cleared. That's in upland, and then this grade hatched area is actually within the bordering vegetated wetland that's north of the property. All the clearing is going to be done mechanically, except for in the wetland. All that will be done by hand. We're using chainsaws, not axes or anything, but there will be no equipment actually in the wetland. Everything will be done from the top of the dike. The general gist of the sequence of construction would be installing erosion controls, cutting in our access road, and then cutting on the dike itself, and then working in the wetland as things are opened up. There's no grubbing or stumping or anything like that planned. They do plan on putting a polyethylene coating on the tops of the cut stumps just to inhibit resprouting, and as well as it kind of slows down the rate of decomposition. You don't get more and more microbes in the top of it. So if it doesn't decompose, then we don't get holes in the embankment as well. So it's pretty much a tree clearing project to make sure that we keep the earthen embankment as stable as possible. Work and resource areas, there's about 167, I think. Yeah, 167 linear feet of bank impacts just from those large pines that are going to be on top of they're right on the bank of the pond. So you have about 167 square feet of that, or linear feet. There's about 2,073 square feet of wetland impact. It's all temporary in nature. It's just going to be the tree clearing. There's no ground disturbing activities within there. And then there is bordering land subject to flooding around the pond associated with Bowers Brook. There is there's an elevation associated with the 227 elevation. So we have that noted on the plan as well. And there is about 4,600 square feet of impact to bordering land subject to flooding. There's not going to be any sort of cut or fill, so we don't have to worry about compensatory mitigation or it's tourist storage, so the storage capacity is not gonna change at all from doing this. Elevations will not be changed.
What happened in 1973?
I don't know.
Oh, is the right of way over here from 1973? What's the dike big?
I don't believe, it's weird on the, I don't have it, my back page ripped off. But there's this right of way that goes all the way around. You can see it on the last page of the order. Of the,
Was it bigger? Do you know?
I don't think so. I've looked at some of the documents, but I don't know what the dates were on.
so I don't know why there's a right of way around the pond. I mean, it's useful for us,
Yeah.
but I don't know what
Well, I
was
think
useful in the past.
I think it was because we own the dike.
Weird.
We
So-
maintain the dike.
Can I, a historical question, why was the dike built to begin with in the first place?
I'm not sure.
You know?
Probably as part of the dam structure. Keep the land from flooding on the other side.
On the other side?
Yeah, and I don't know the history of when Canes went in there, when they built their driveway and it's probably related to that, I would guess, early 70s.
I mean, just to flip it around, what's the point of the dike? Like, if you blew it out, other than Bonnie's yard getting bigger, would it actually impact their driveway?
I didn't really look at what the impacts would be if the dike broke.
Because there's a wetland behind the dike. Like,
Right.
it's kind of
I know, it's almost like it's preventing the wetland from,
the wetland grew into the dike apparently.
Well, the
Or-
wetland flows from this drainage here and flows out, and there's possible seepage from the dike
Yeah. it
into
just-
there, which isn't necessarily a good thing.
Yeah, I haven't looked at the hydrology of that whole area.
You know, I mean, I understand getting the office a dam safety off your back, but in the long-term scenario, would it be easier to get rid of it, or simpler somehow, or is that more bother than?
Well, it's probably, I don't know all the legal issues, but you're probably flooding someone else's
Yeah,
property.
I don't think, that would be a, one of the rollbacks, I don't
Yeah.
think.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, so, Mark, when were you hoping to do the work?
We're pretty much ready to go to bid, so we would do it, as soon as we can. I do need to meet with Canes and go through everything with them. And as you know, they're leaving unless they've already left.
Right.
And I'm not sure if they've sold it or if there's any plans there. But
It would be better from a construction standpoint to try to do it during the winter months,
Sure.
less impact.
Will you need to file with Corps of Engineers for the bank impact?
No.
Are you sure?
Yep.
On the way out, you have to see if we'll sign over. Like, yeah, go ahead, flood it. We don't need it.
The only other permit that we're gonna have to put in is for, to the Office of Dam Safety.
Okay.
So there's no planned replanting, just gonna let it grow natural.
What about maintenance,
Yeah.
like long-term?
yeah.
That's up to the town.
We'll have to go in and make sure that it's not
Just kind of
trees
monitor.
are growing. Yeah. Well, like I said, we do. We're required because of the hazard rating to do 6 month.
Okay. So you're there twice a year.
inspections.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because I didn't realize we were supposed to be doing 6 month inspections. I thought we only had to do the phase 1, and then for some reason, Mass DOT did the phase 2. But then all of a sudden, I got a nasty letter from Office of Dam Safety that said, you haven't submitted any semi-annual reports for the last 8 years. And I was like, okay. So someone knew. They must have gotten someone new in there who started going through all the records and
That sounds
finding
familiar.
out who was doing what.
I hate those people.
And then I haven't heard anything since. Actually, I talked to their lawyer after that, and she just said, just keep doing something. So both the town engineer basically does the semi-annual inspections. So we've gone out and done kind of the formula.
And hopefully it'll be easier to maintain once you have all those large trees and shrubs out of there. it's ideal to keep it as a low-growing herbaceous veg if possible.
The other advantage, and I don't know if I can visualize this, but as you know, we did a study of the Main Street corridor, starting at the rotary going down to Devon's, and one of the recommendations was to clear out some of the brush between the road and the pond, because it's a beautiful pond, and when you're driving into town, it kind of it's nice visually rather than having to look through all these shrubs.
Much further bush.
Yeah.
So you're getting rid of some invasive to it.
There would be a couple there. Between that and buckthorn, pretty good.
Yeah,
My favorites.
yeah, my fave, yeah.
Sidewalk, or do we need a sidewalk?
What do you think?
I think so.
Okay.
I mean, I would like to, I'd like to take a look at it.
Yeah.
It's kind of behind. It's 20 feet
I will
out.
be in touch with Bill and get back to you on when we can
Okay.
set it up.
All right. Do you want us to attend the site walk?
On the flags?
The flags should all be up. They were done in October.
Can we get into,
Yeah, I could. It's just from. I don't like to drive out here on Saturdays.
I mean, I parked over
But-
here. There's kind of
Yeah.
like
Yeah, you
pull
can
up on the
park
grass.
right
I parked
there,
here and
yeah.
just walked across, and it's
Yeah.
pretty. It's not a real
No.
thick understory.
Yeah, it's
so
pretty easy.
to walk
Easy to
through.
get in there. I can have if the town engineer could also meet you here. He's the one who does all the inspections. He knows his way around, and he lives
Yeah.
next door.
Yeah.
Does he?
in Harvard.
Oh, I thought you meant like
No, next town.
Next one.
like in the house
Easy
next door.
drive.
This is awful place.
No, that's where I
Easy
go. To McDonald's.
there's nothing else? All right. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Motion continue.
We'll continue to Thursday.
They have the Northern Beach forms here. Certificate of amendment.
Oh,
Any discussion?
and then.
Do we need to pay for something?
All in
So
favor?
I told Martha that this bill was on you guys, and so she made a fuss about, I'm gonna go through DPW to get this paid, but
Well, if you send the test, we'll just put it online. We just sign it. It just goes towards the project.
yeah, and then I'll go for a walk, but I don't think I'll email you a question. I don't think I need to get Dan to go for a walk with me. And then if same thing. I'll send these guys an email if I've got a question, or I'll send you an email. But it seems easy enough.
Thank you.
Here.
Thanks.
All right, request for certificate of compliance, DEP 100-0130, 31 Pingree Way.
Yeah, this is a replication that never happened. I had an email yesterday saying that the Iliopolis would be sending somebody tonight. Unless DeShang is more multi-talented than we thought he was.
He's a lawyer too.
That seems to have not worked out. Nobody left, right? Like got up and got bored and walked away. I got nothing.
All right,
So unless you guys want to chat about that particular project and, if you want to make a fuss about, rushing that or like doing some kind of paperwork.
So we have a request
Yep.
that's been submitted,
Yep.
and
And it is not possible to sign off on that currently.
okay.
Yeah, at our last meeting, I think they said they were gonna have somebody come to our January meeting to present a suggested resolution.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Everybody's here, so.
All right.
You want a reminder? It is. No, this is across the street. It's the Bennett's Brook subdivision.
And it's crossing?
Bennett's, yeah.
Okay.
Where's my?
Did you guys do a sidewalk?
No.
I did the sidewalk.
Okay.
And then, here it is, this one. Oh,
Oh, right.
so, you see the measuring tape?
Oh, okay, gotcha, yep.
You remember this picture now? Yeah. That's the one.
Okay.
Yep.
But they, nothing. You know, so if you don't want to do a violation, you want to do enforcement, you want to do some kind of that effect, then we'll just see if they'll come in next time.
I'm willing to wait.
All right,
It's been how many years?
10.
We can wait.
Yeah, you can, yeah, a couple months, yeah.
No, wait. Actually, let me count. 15.
There we go.
Wow.
So we can move on.
All right. Discussion, 23 Hemlock Drive application.
Right, and that's your this packet you got in front of you that's all stapled together. I've given you copies of the enforcement order, the minutes of that meeting, the plans showing the replication, the notes for the replication, an email chain, getting into some of the confusion, and just, essentially whatever I could think of that's relevant to this particular detail.
So, Brian, I'm confused. So this says 23. I've got something that says 24 Hemlock. And I've got
23
something that
Hemlock?
says 26 Hemlock.
I saw this, so is this the area, right? So
Right,
that's
so
Hemlock-
lot 59
Yeah, lot 59.
is the issue.
Lot 59.
Right, lot 59, between 58 and 59. So if you look in that's approved the plan. This is the utility easement with the water and the gas, like maintenance. And so there's no, at the very beginning, usually you don't replicate or replicating the wetlands in the easement, especially the coverage for the water, you don't take it down. So if you look at it here, 290 square feet of wetland area, and it's all replicated over here at the downgrading of the culvert under it's number 8, right? So I don't.
Yeah, so this replication,
It's here.
right, is there. There's a replication from this,
Yeah, both added together.
right?
Total together, so.
The homeowners here have impacted this replication area.
Right.
Oh, okay.
And so Deshang's got a standing issue with the replication area that can't be kept up with. And the issue we're having is that this space in the minutes here, the way that I remember the story, and everyone else here seems to as well, is that this wasn't supposed to be left cleared. This was supposed to be replanted. And then spring happened, the drought happened, we got kind of lax in our planting issues. It comes back up again, the confusion restarts about this replication versus that replication versus replication not replicating, etc. And so we've got a standing enforcement order that has had nothing happen, and a stance from the proponent that we're talking about the wrong thing, you're trying to enforce on something that was approved.
Yeah, here, so because in a way, because of utility, you just like any other utilities, you're not going to plant it because you're going to trees or getting into all the utility lines. So normally there's no, just like in the dam thing, people don't go there. Suppose design a dam before. Any woody plant is supposed to be chopped it down, but 30, if you get 30-inch DBH trees, that's never supposed to be there. It's lucky the dike is there.
So who's responsible for keeping the utility easement cleared?
Well,
whoever so in a way, this person and another one, so they're supposed to, that's what they're mowing looks like.
And just to get very clear about, in the minutes here, the piece that matters, right above enforcement order Crabtree Development 23 Hemlock Drive, lot 61, directly above that bolded section, it says GB moved to ratify the EO and have it indicate that in the spring, the area of wetland disturbance in the utility easement will be brought back to what it is supposed to be, TT second, Motion approved unanimously, and the EO signed. And so that sort of is the crux of things. And if you backtrack through those minutes in that discussion,
Yeah, so that will be like almost counterproductive for whatever creating that utility easement, because if you put a tree there and then if actually this section, the utility owned by the town, if people put a tree and the tree roots get damaged, that the town have to go there to prepare all the damages. So actually, the town would enforce people maintain that open, not to get that big trees growing into the water lines, you know.
and part of this confusion too is that the utility easement is on lot 58, but it's part of the order of conditions for lot 59. And so because the replication is on lot 59, and so you've got this sort of like
Across the,
this hot mess of flip
used
coins.
to be the same owner, but
So the replication was done?
No, but which one? So the one on lot 59
So-
in darker green that is displayed there,
Yeah.
he's currently monitoring.
Okay, so for the portion of the easement that goes through the wetland,
they
The
replicate
utility
it in the
easement.
same places.
so that whatever square footage was supposed to be replicated,
Right.
are we saying that that was done?
Yes,
Yeah,
and it is
it's
currently
combined.
under monitoring.
And then, okay, so it's in that
Right,
piece to the,
right.
Yeah, the darkest
Yeah.
green.
Right, and at the same time, the new owner, they put so much of fill around the shoulder, right now it's all washed into it. But
And that's, if you
separate.
recall,
That's a separate
Right.
enforcement would be.
that's where the homeowner came in and they had put up their own erosion fence.
Oh, yeah,
This is that property.
oh, okay.
And then it dumps abundant, lots of, around the whole shoulder, and they put in some, it doesn't hold, so they
So-
didn't do it right.
So the current issue that needs to be resolved is what stance you want to take on the utility easement. Should it be replanted or not? Because last January, the decision was replant the easement, and the parties present agreed to it. And, you know, you can check your minutes for, you know, I think Steve was here, I think Roper might have been here. And they said, sure thing. And I don't, you know, and now they're saying, no, that's not what happened.
So can you define, so this is a little bit ambiguous, that, okay, the utility easement will be brought back to what it is supposed to be. What is supposed to be? Can we define that? Is it defined somewhere?
I mean, so my experience.
It's a little
normally,
confusing.
It's
Tell me
usually,
about it.
when you do it, you have to be erosion control, establish permanent vegetation, so cover, which should be herbaceous normally, so otherwise it will end up going there, chop it down. It will require, if any woody trees growing, technically you have to cut it down, like you see on the power lines, every year they go there, because nobody can go there to see it as lawn.
what kind of utilities are going through there?
Underground.
Gas and water. There are 4 utility lines in, so 2 water and 2 gas is on each side of it.
And further compounding this issue is that the owner of lot 58 is using the utility easement, or was using the utility easement, as access to their back shed.
Right.
I remember that.
And so that was what,
To drive, driving over.
And they filled in that little part, right?
it seemed that way, yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's just, you know, this is, it's a bunch of contradictory statements. Which one would you like to follow?
Do we have the original order of conditions?
I printed out the wetland replication section of the order.
So originally, if I'm looking at here, basically this area is supposed to be permanently filled. So
No, that's
then
it.
the question
That's
is
it, right?
how we want
Replication.
to establish or maintain that easement. From the common practice, any easement, you cannot block it for sure. You cannot put in structures over it. You cannot let big trees, woody plants growing in it. So right now, that's what I saw. It maybe was not intended for access driving on it, but if it's just a lawn or like in a yard maintenance kind of equipment, it probably won't hurt it because of that's what technically it's sustainable for that kind of thing. If people driving like a cars there, like you have garage, and here they add in like a garage here and making as a driveway, and that's against the purpose. If it's just a mowing or that kind of stuff, that's, I mean, you almost can say that's the maintenance you would require. So most of the time people don't, it's not people cutting it, people don't cut it. If you have an easement too big and too long, including from dikes and utility, you see all the big utility companies, they go there do once or twice a year, at most, twice, to chop it down. Because if you don't do it, it's going to grow trees, big ones. So for the overhang utility, or underground, both, you have those issues.
Right.
Yeah.
Sure. I'm willing to, and I don't know exactly how we do this administratively, but I mean, if we were confused, I guess for lack of a better term, when we issued that enforcement order, it's been ratified, so
Right.
how do we ratify it?
Or, I mean, you know, can you amend an enforcement order?
No, it is what it is. The question is, do you then carry it through to all of the required sort of actions to, so, I mean, I guess the question is, was this area out of compliance to begin with? You know, was
That's step one, right?
a violation to begin with? And it's, I guess, I think I have a better understanding now of what's going on with kind of the interrelated nature of this easement, this other property, and the replication on this other property, the portion which is for this easement. Makes a little more sense now, hearing it.
But, you know, as
Explain
the
it.
minutes show, as I think, that when the applicant's representatives were here that day, they seemed to have understood what was being spoken of as well. That we were speaking of the easement line, and we were speaking, like, that was the whole reason they came in, was the easement and the violation and that impact.
Well, right, but
So-
I don't think they made it clear, and I don't think, I certainly didn't have a clear grasp that what we were calling wetland that had been filled in violation was actually wetland that had been filled in the permit.
Yeah.
And that the replication for it either has or hasn't taken place, and we're hearing that it had taken place.
Working, yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, if we issued an enforcement order that we probably shouldn't have issued, then, you know, that happens, and how do we rectify it so that the owner of 58 isn't unnecessarily burdened with.
Well, I can reach
Enforcement
out
order.
to Judy about that.
Right,
Yeah.
that's kind of where I was headed, I don't know exactly the
No, I
process.
wouldn't know how to do that.
There's still then a question as to whether it was done,
Well, and there's a standing issue.
it's functioning, I guess, yeah.
But there's also the standing issue of that line of sight to the back shed being utilized in some manner, because the homeowner was keeping up that driveway.
Unless we have something in the order condition that says they can't drive a tractor through that area, I don't know what pieces we have for
No, you cannot restrict, because say.
authority, I
This
guess,
is-
jurisdiction.
Yeah, as an easement of, that you get to go in to maintain it, so if there's any repairment, any growing, large, or any woody trees, you get to be keep cutting down, technically. That's what the easement normally would require. So,
So is there room for, like,
it shouldn't driving, shouldn't driving like a truck or whatever things going there for hauling out things, you know, they should use their driveway. But if there's anything just like in a lawn, as I said, like a lawn care kind of equipment or something for access, that shouldn't be restricted. from what I would, from common practice, I know for this kind of easement.
Hey, for a minute, I'm confused.
That's okay.
Yeah, it's, at first, that's why, at first I didn't know, I saw that you guys were trying to enforce this one, the guy was, put the fill into the wetland replication area, and I said, that's not ours, it's the new owner did it. So, then when I was looking at here, then I said, finally, I said, oh, it's over there, because you remember, when Brian called me, I was confused for a while, and then I said, oh, you mean over here? I said, that's supposed to be filled. And the condition, in the order of conditions, what is the restriction for that easement? Normally, if it's approved for permanent fill, means they become the easement, upland. For easement is an easement that to be maintained permanently. You know, technically, you cannot say you have an easement, you cannot touch anymore, no. Unless it's a temporary access easement for reaching I mean, normally you don't need a temporary easement. Easement is a property right. Easement is a very significant property right either way. You know, it's not like it's almost like you own it. If you have an easement on people's property, you almost like you own that land.
Yeah, I mean, because it's their water and
Exactly.
it's their gas
Right.
going into their house.
Right.
So,
They have,
you know, if they sever a line because they're driving on it or they're, you know, doing something there.
oh yeah, they may damage
It's-
their
it's their-
utility. They get to
Well, no, that's not quite true because the utility easement you can see in the picture curves down to the home in lot
yeah,
59.
shared by
Yeah.
actually two.
And it's lot N as well, uses that easement, but lot 58 is the one driving on it.
Oh, I see. That's right. It goes into, yeah,
Yeah, the easement.
yeah,
So you can,
Yeah.
let's put it this way, if somebody have an easement on his property, they have the exclusive right, they can maintain it, but if they are maintaining it, they have no problem. I mean,
And then the other problem that happened is I was driving by one day, and a contractor for the yard for lot 59 had utilized the utility easement to drive in and to like get around the wetland. So they drove their vehicle in that way, and they were going to exit on the driveway. And so that pathway is problematic because it looks like a path.
you mean they're not using the driveway, they're using there now?
Well, the contractor who came in to plant some shrubbery along the property line, they drove in over that particular space because it made their life
Can you
easier.
get up and show me?
You say over here.
Yeah, they came in off the road, turned in here, came up here, parked their truck out here, and was doing planting work over along the boundary. And so, people were using this to work on this property, and then other people, the owners, were using this to cross to their shed, and that then the side impacts on that itsy bitsy little
It's like a little.
highly impacted level.
Yeah, I agree with you. To a degree, that wetlands is probably, so at least they cannot cut it, so it will maintain some kind of vegetated woody area in that strip, just like over here. So they cannot alter that. But as far as irregular casual access use, so hopefully when they do that, the most danger in my view impact is to because it's not paved, and I don't know if that easement has the rating of H20 loading, you have the trucks going. That's why I'm more concerned about it breaking the gas line. Not the water line's pretty deep, it's 5 feet deep, you probably won't make any dent, but gas line usually pretty shallow.
Requiring to put up signs saying no vehicles.
Yeah, I mean, probably, maybe recommend and say this is an easement, an utility easement, no traffic. Maybe I have them put the sign in the front, like that may help, because, I don't want them driving and then the gas line get blown up. Right?
That wouldn't go below. Wetland impact.
Yeah, that will impact the wetlands from that perspective. But other than that, it's just, there's no restoration or whatever for, it's already stable, have 100% vegetation cover. So I think maybe put a sign changing it. It's not really enforcement, it's proper signage. If we see people use it not in proper way, they can come in here. If the guy using that, he can drive in over here unloaded, right? Maybe just trying to be a little bit lazy. To me, you do need to issue an enforcement order for this guy. We get to clean this, all those. It's pretty stony fill. He put on the slope.
Yeah, we were out there.
The water's going to wash it in, but the silt fence was not installed right. I checked with my clients. I said, Rick, what are you doing there? He said, no, I don't own it. That's not mine. I already sold the house.
Yeah.
And I said, okay. That silt fence was just didn't tuck in.
And neither property owner signed one of the affidavits that is associated with this whole business either. And so, the plausible denial argument is certainly there, though Steve doesn't take that argument well.
Right, he's trying to, the first owner, I would say the first owner, they should do that. Then the first owner pass on to the second owner, then it becomes their responsibility. I guess you cannot hold Rick forever. If the owner changed 10 times, you still have to keep track of that. So each owner has its own responsibility pass on.
And that's a fair argument, but at the same time, the order of conditions is still open, and so you're still working on that particular detail with the replication. So why should Rick be released from the details in the OOC? And it's one of these. It's easy to make both arguments.
Yeah. So what he has the responsibility to make sure the replication is properly done. But if anybody further living on the land that bought it, violation, that shouldn't be Rick's responsibility. I don't see that the two things are independent in my view. So if he did some violation, he should receive a new enforcement order of himself.
Well, right. We're drifting here, but what do we feel about the easement?
Can you clearly summarize what the issue is?
No.
So,
I could try, but it won't be clear.
So we issued
our
an
minutes are not
enforcement
going to
order.
be clear, because I'm not clear.
We issued an enforcement order for what we thought was a violation.
Yeah, for what everyone in the room agreed to was a violation.
Because this area that is shown as the wetland that was crossed by the easement
Was being impacted by homeowners.
One at a time. We
can't we're completing each other's sentences. It's cute.
Go talk to
Agents do this all the time.
They're thinking in each other's mind anyhow, I can tell.
So we issued an enforcement order for what we thought was a violation,
But it's actually approved.
but was actually approved.
But the easement, the project was approved to fill in that portion of the wetland for the easement.
Right.
Okay, we're gonna say that again. Approved.
Shang, how wide should the easement be?
28 feet. 28 or 30.
28 feet of
Yeah,
clearing.
28 to 30 feet, I would say.
So we issued for filling in the wetland, we issued a violation for that when it was actually approved because it was a utility easement.
Yes, that is my interpretation of what we did.
Okay.
That's
So
I
it was
couldn't do
okay
any
to
better.
fill it.
I could make it worse maybe, but I don't know if I could make it any clearer than that. The difference is that it wasn't just us, because we brought in, the issue came in because of the homeowners utilizing the easement and impacting the wetlands. And there was agreement on all sides that the wetlands were being impacted by the homeowners' activity. And so
So this is the homeowner who was going to cross that filled-in portion of the wetland. So the filled-in portion of the wetland was okay for the easement.
Right, we
But
permitted
not a-
that.
But we're saying that the homeowner was using it to access the shed in the back?
Right,
Across, and that was not okay.
right.
Okay.
But is that a violation of the order condition?
Not as far as I can tell.
What about the wetland to the north? Was that being impacted? The remainder of the wetland?
That is an additional detail mentioned in the minutes for that property, and it had to do with Roper moving the driveway around and impacting that tiny, like, snipped off wetland and impacting that further.
Right. Okay.
So, where were we? So, right, so additional impacts. So then we turned around and issued the enforcement order to Roper to fix it so that for the purpose of homeowners not creating further additional impacts on those two wetlands. And as of January 2016, which I mean this time, everybody agreed on that. And it appears that, we got buy-in from the applicants at that point. Come spring, come summer, nothing happened, and then the drought happened, so, we were okay with that because planting and droughts would have been bad.
So where were they supposed to plant?
My assumption up until recently was that this path was a temporary clearing that was going to be replanted to wetland vegetation.
But
And
it can't be temporary because it needs to be a permanent.
Maintained. It's the water and the gas line, it's not a temporary easement. And that's why it was originally proposed as permanent alteration, not temporary. And it gets replicated. I see over there the vegetation. This area is still maintained as a natural vegetation, it seems to me. So that was not the current homeowner didn't order that either. So I think the only thing is I see is here, which is approved, whether they know it or not. But what the limitation, you can use it for access, as I said, whenever you have it, the easement, technically you cannot limit them for access unless they change it into a driveway. That would be different. But if it's just a very occasional use, either for landscaping or whatever, it's not. If it's not properly used, they may damage the utility line. We need them to enforce them. But on the other hand, that's their risk.
I think that's out of our jurisdiction.
Right.
So yes,
to some
so
degree.
whether they crossed that little filled-in portion of the wetland with a lawnmower or something like that is beyond our jurisdiction. But you want to discourage the homeowner from crossing over with heavy vehicles because of the gas lines.
Right.
Because that would become one of the jurisdictional issue, perhaps.
Technically, we don't have to use an enforcement order to do that.
Right.
So we don't need an enforcement order to do that.
I don't think so. We'll probably tell your friend and say, you guys knows what is there. You have a gas line. Don't put a sign there and say don't. Otherwise, the landscape people don't know that. They can't. They know. But most of things like this kind, in my view, is more like education. So you know you have gas line coming through there. Your landscaping driving in, especially in the spring, if this thing has become mushy, sinking in. It's not good for you. You end up suffering. But that's more. If they know, most of the time I find in this world is if this is really your interest, you will guard it. If they just thinking that you are forcing them to do something they have nothing to do with it, they probably ignore. That's what I found it. If somebody would, I don't know if I tell Roper, but I think maybe the commission sent them a friendly letter, so that one is utility easement for water and gas line, you don't want to have a heavy equipment put on it, and we recommend you put a signage saying gas line easement. No heavy traffic. That's it. It's good. It's for your own protection. If you do it, otherwise you'll end up blow up. That's it. I mean, at that time you have enforcement. If you blow up going to the wetlands, then it's a different issue.
So that moves down to now 59. Is there enforcement order? Are they filling in that wetland at 59?
Well, that,
Washing. It's
Or
not-
wash, it's washing
They
it
put on
from the
shoulder-
driveway.
Yeah, they put in the driveway. I don't know what they even put in the driveway. It looks like they get some like almost like a broken latch. They still a pile over here, this corner.
right.
I don't know what they want to do. I mean, that's.
Well, and they've been in
Because I
to
think-
talk to us, and they've been made aware,
Yeah.
of all
That's
this.
the one they wanted to do the. this
Or
is
to
where
widen the driveway
Or
or,
widen the driveway and
yeah, build it,
the retaining wall?
push out the embankment
Right.
so you widen the driveway.
Oh, and this was the one with the neighbor next door who was gonna do the stonework.
Yeah,
Oh, right.
So this is one right on Route 2.
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's from what I see, that looks like a more valid enforcement order case, and, because they technically impacted the wetlands now because of improper, if it's just the regular maintenance of the driveway, that's exempted, but because of the throwing in so much, it didn't do it, handle it right and get it all washed down.
But we haven't done an enforcement order on that one, right?
No, you guys went out and had a
Yeah.
chat,
We had a chat, they're supposed to
And-
come back.
I'd have to check the minutes to see where you left that, but, you left that on pretty good terms, and you said, look, there's a wetland, don't screw with it. I think if I'm fishing through my memory here, I think you told them to come back with a proper plan to do like an RDA or an NOI
Right,
with.
right, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But you're still
So-
monitoring that wetland, so we rely on you to let us know if any of his work is impacting your wetland.
Yeah, that's why I reported. I said, we're almost ready to file for the completion, but I said, but I mean, I still, well, I remind you, it's an independent case. It's two separate cases.
Until it crosses into your wetland.
Yeah, well, even the cross, that means it still impact the town's wetlands not by the third party.
Well, it's your wetland until we close it out.
But going back to, what's at issue here is the enforcement order we did issue for lot 58 that we shouldn't have issued. And what do we do about that enforcement order?
Well, I can figure this out and reach out to the circuit rider and,
Well, let's just make sure that
well,
there's not anything in the enforcement order that we did issue that is legitimate. We need to, I guess, figure out what.
We can vote to lift it up. I just had a case in Newton, which is a little bit more complicated than that. They thought a wetland in the people's backyard was a BVW, but it turned to be isolated wetland. So they put an enforcement order on it, and then the owner denied it, so it would end up going to court. And the court say, well, one side say it's BVW, and we are saying it's isolated wetlands. So then they're coming back, and then they hire a third party to review it, and agree, say and there's two attorneys that agree, say whatever, we get a third party agreed, we both sides will agree. Because the BVW get to, remove it. If it's isolated wetlands, then it's settled, so we'll lift the enforcement order. So then they coming in, so yeah, it's obvious isolated wetlands, and why we tracking in as BVW, that's long story because it's how many years? So it's 5-6 years fighting in court. So, but anyway, end of it is basically saying that enforcement order should be lifted because of the basis if this is BBW, that enforcement is valid. If it's isolated, it's not valid. So like in here, I can see the similarity is if that wetland alteration is temporary, then it's valid enforcement order. If it's approved permanent fill, that means there's no base to carry it on. It should be just lifted, voted on, say enforcement is.
So, this gets to a question of if you were to impact a wetland by building a utility easement, is there a scenario where regrowth of wetland plants on a clear section are there scenarios where a wetland, an area that was replicated, would also be allowed or asked to, over time, revert back to wetland? Or, what's the cutoff between a temporary and a permanent impact? 2 years, 5 years? Because the idea is that a temporary impact you don't replicate, and a permanent impact you would replicate.
No, well, temporary impacts would be impacts during construction, that once construction is over, that impact is gone. A permanent impact is if you're filling it in.
And you would replicate for a permanent impact.
Right.
And so if we were to...
You might also, depending on where the temporary impact is, I think in some cases, especially if you had a bylaw that allowed you to do it, you could also require mitigation for temporary impacts, but in this case, we don't have a bylaw that gives us that power. The only case where I think we can do that is in an ACEC, where we might allow for direct impacts to be whatever that you otherwise wouldn't be able to do. But if they're if they're temporary and they're replicated, then maybe we could do that.
Yeah.
That's a tricky situation because it would have to be a limit. You have to qualify as a limited project and all that. So.
The thought exercise I'm going through here is that perhaps there were trees or something cut down, so that made it an impact that had to be replicated. And then, just saying that if...
Well, even just driving equipment from point A to point B over through a wetland, that's a temporary impact. But if it's only during construction, I mean...
But at what point would we say, as part of this project, that, okay, you replicate for what you destroyed, but then you let it go wild, and you let it regain some of its wetland characteristics? And, let's just say if we put a fence up, and the cars grew through, right? When we had a wetland on top of a utility easement. And I think that's the conversation that we had last January, that there was an expectation that the wetland would be replaced. And just, if that's still the complicated type of thinking that you want to support, or if you want to say, you know what, it was replicated, therefore, we don't need to worry about doing anything else on that space.
Yeah, I would say if they did in fact replicate for that impact, that permanent impact, then we probably didn't have a basis to issue an enforcement order based on what we thought was.
Probably case by case. I have like a couple of cases for your thought. Full of thought is I worked on a golf course, because they have like in drive range, they have to, between the two drive range, they have to go over a section of wetlands. So they get an approval to limit the tree or the vegetation height, because otherwise they cannot, become a valid driving. So that means it's still wetlands, but they get approved, conditioned, say you cannot fill it, so in a way making that rough, golf course, but you can control the vegetation to certain height, but they have to, so it means the wetlands function, it was conditioned to that way, limited the height of it. So that's one of temporary, it's still considered temporary alteration, but they have the right to maintain the certain height of the vegetation. The other one is the over, like a really big culvert, like they have to cross in something, they put like in the direction of drilling, go underneath. So to avoid that, or they have overhang utility lines. So they will still maintain as a wetland condition, but they say you are approved permanently, we can control the growth, like say you don't want the trees grow, hit your high voltage line to cause any accident. So they still let them to drive in, even it's the wetlands, so they have to get the equipment in to do that. But it's not, the value definitely has some impact, but as whatever human beings operation, you're looking to the big utility companies, there are lots of activities going like that. They have to go in once a year or twice a year to control the vegetation growth, even in the overhang.
Well, I think with respect to the utility lines, it's like everybody, you own a house, right? You own a piece of property. Utility lines come in from the street. You're responsible for your own utility lines.
Right.
If I plant a tree next to my gas line and that tree grows to
So big.
so big at the roots,
intruding
the gas, that's my responsibility, right?
True, right.
Right?
Yeah.
So
you have to maintain it.
I think it's out of this jurisdiction. It's like it's their responsibility to know where the utility lines are and to maintain,
Technically, yes.
their utility lines.
Right.
Well,
Yeah, but they have to be within, originally as approved. That's why I say this easement is a permanent easement.
Right.
So whenever
Right.
we approved it, but they have to maintain the erosion control. They cannot, like a barren soils and whenever rains, it's eroding into the wetlands. That's in violation in my view.
Right.
If
Right.
they maintain it like a permanent vegetation growth,
Right.
then that's.
And I think what you said before, it's just a matter of educating them, educating a homeowner that,
Right.
these are wetlands, there's a utility line, and you do X, Y, and Z
Right,
for the time that you live here.
right.
So there are potentially 3 actions I'm hearing that I could take. The one is calling in and figuring out how to lift an enforcement order and having that conversation and just calling it good and just saying, we screwed up. I can lift the enforcement order, matter's resolved. There is the version where I would say amend the enforcement order to say put up a bunch of signs saying utility
To
don't
the
drive on.
homeowner?
Hmm?
And amend the enforcement order to who?
I suppose it would, well,
Who did it?
To Richard Roper.
yeah, so amending it would have to state Roper and say put up a bunch of signs. There is a version where I lift the order to Roper and issue an enforcement order to one or both of the homeowners saying, please put up a bunch of signs to keep people off of this. And the motivation on our part would be reducing the impact to the remaining wetland rather than reducing the impact to the easement itself. And then a wishy-washy or potential 4th option is a similar version of that, but instead of just the sign or substitute the sign would be like, put out a wetland grass seed over the utility easement. And say, all right, don't drive here, and, put in some wild grass so that it has the look of a non-driveway. And then that, removes potential woody vegetation because theoretically we've got a bunch of grass growing instead. Some version or
Isn't there
combination.
grass growing in there?
No, there's regular grass, lawn grass, turf.
All right, well, why don't you reach out to the circuit rider, and then we'll consider all of those next time.
Okay.
All right? I got a text from Bill, he is available this Saturday. Do you want to
Okay.
go out this Saturday?
He's available.
Yes.
So we want to have a time, like what time, and 8:39,
Where do we need to go?
Oh, yeah, we have.
Yeah, let's see where we need to go to.
Or do we want to finish up this first and then?
I think we are.
I think we did. I'm gonna talk to the circuit rider about the 3 or 4 versions of signs, grass seed, lifting and amending, and how that process would work, and who would be the right recipient should the enforcement order be amended or, if appropriate, rescinded and
I think that's
enforced.
key, the correct recipient is key.
Yeah.
yeah, I think for the recipients, in my view, is get to be the homeowner to, in my view, because of, say, original order, if the developer had complied with his original order or not, if he did, so it means he should be off. Otherwise, so we get to be checking with the original order conditions. If he did whatever he did, means he's off. Just like this neighbor, right now the owner, he put bunches of there. I cannot hold it. Asking Rick Robert to
Yeah,
remove that.
This one's tricky though, because the house wasn't really built
Huh?
per the order, right? Isn't that
Right.
the issue in the driveway?
Right.
Yeah, so.
And so Roper was in the wrong to
Yeah.
begin with.
Oh, so he did. He
Talk to
did
Judy
build in
and
the
see what she
wrong-
has any advice, because it,
This is a hot mess of technicalities.
yeah, it is.
He did build the driveway in the right place.
Yeah,
For
and
58.
Yeah, move the driveway, move the house, change the impact to the
Yeah,
wetland.
he ended up having more impact to BBW than he was permitted
Huh.
for that lot. So,
58.
yeah. So it's tricky. It's not just the utility easement. That issue, I think, at least in my mind, is
And he
the
didn't
most
notify,
clear now.
yeah, and he didn't notify us of any of those changes.
Right.
So he did.
Right.
He did
So-
do a
Actually,
Still,
plan modification.
you know, as you were saying that, we never followed up with that other than to sort of chide him about it. What's in the minutes? Is he supposed to do any more wetland replication?
the minutes say that as punishment, if you will, doesn't say punishment, but that he would basically fix the permitted alteration, but
That's the one that he's not supposed to fix.
That he's not
'cause
So
supposed
that
fix.
means that Roper's EO needs to be amended to say you need to add to the wetland replication, because what we were gonna,
No, we need to discuss that.
well, no, because the overly impacted wetland is still a standing enforcement issue. And he was gonna replicate that wetland by making new wetland here. Right? Is that the logic we were using in those minutes?
So you mean he filled this
I don't think
wetlands?
so.
Or no?
Yeah, like further, so up
This wetland looks is here. Where is the?
yeah, so the way the driveway up here
Right.
impacted this wetland too much, we said you screwed up, fix it, here's a spot you can fix.
But we didn't have that discussion before, right?
No, I think that's what the minutes are saying. I think that's what Takashi just said.
So this wetland is almost end up here, right?
Right, and so
And
the
the
driveway,
driveway is in the buffer zone, maybe a little bit more closer to the
a lot
wetland.
closer, yeah. Than,
and so is that why we said to make that wetland? Is that the,
That's the wrong place. You can, so if it's a little bit closer, doesn't mean that he didn't technically fill more wetlands. It's just a little bit closer. So I don't know that. I have to check with Steve, because you get to have an as-built plan to compare with the original approved. If the driveway for 58 is outside of the wetlands, if he built in the wetlands, that's a different case.
yeah,
But if it's
I believe that's what happened.
he built in the wetlands?
Not in the buffer zone.
Well, in the buffer zone, a little bit closer. maybe.
Yes.
Yeah, that one is a kind of limited. It's very, very tricky part.
Yeah,
Because,
I mean-
so, unless, and especially at that time, do we have a 25-foot no disturb zone?
Hmm. That's what we do.
no,
Yeah, if
we
it-
don't.
Right, if then it's very
Yeah,
difficult
not
to
yet.
argue, because if you don't, means there's still, it's a the case, the foundation is still only, original buffer zone impact unless he made the driveway wider. And even that would be a drainage issue. It would be like a mitigating the increased runoff.
Yeah, but we hadn't specified a year ago that, we found out he'd moved, the house had moved and he'd had a bigger impact, but we had not specifically said we need to add in replication.
That's what I'm wondering if Takashi is what he just spoke up. If we said, you know what, you screwed up, you owe us some more
But
wetland,
we
put it there.
But we didn't say that a year
Yeah.
ago.
I
No,
don't
we didn't
think it
say
was-
that.
Yeah,
because-
it wasn't,
It's not wetland issue, it's I think you say, you get to evaluate
It
whatever
was just
that
bad
impact.
behavior that
Bigger
should
house,
have
Yeah.
larger driveway or
I mean,
closer
he
driveway.
doubled his buffer zone impact. He had put the nearest point of the project 7 feet away from the wetland. That was all not in keeping with what I was permitted to do.
But there's nothing that would have been replicated in that.
Right.
Yeah, but it,
You don't replicate a lot buffer
Yeah.
zone.
So there's really nothing to amend in order, on Roper for, right? You were just saying,
Yeah, I was just
Yeah.
struck by potential
Right.
insight into what might have happened,
yeah, so,
and it's wrong.
Yeah, for that purpose, I think it may be difficult to enforce to just minor discrepancy in the position.
it's not really minor, but it's still,
Uh,
there's still not much we can do.
but there wasn't any grounds for saying, okay, now you have to add in 200 feet more of
Mhm.
replication. We didn't do that, so.
It didn't feel more wetland, it just in order that buffer zone, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I've got a couple other issues with Roper that I can bring up in a little bit that maybe
But
I'd be
inclined to make him pay for the signs and put the signs over there. That's just-
yeah.
To be continued.
Yeah. So I guess you'll fill in those guys.
So,
Like basically, I'm just gonna call the circuit rider and figure out,
Okay.
signs, seeds, who should do it.
Right, the seeds wise, if that hydrology is not there, you probably just leave it on, maybe can tell them.
Let it go wild somehow.
No, just they limited the mowing, because that, you have some reason that, because they don't have to maintain meticulous lawn, they can live like in mowed like twice a year rather than mowed every week, That one I think is reasonable, because as an easement, you don't have to mow it every week, so. But they definitely should maintain it, because if you do twice a year, it will definitely limit the woody plants. And that's normally my experience, in this cases, they will specify and say you can only mow it twice a year.
So then, we good?
Yeah, we're good.
Right, in that case, I think that one probably won't issue to the homeowner, because otherwise, if you give to Roper, he is not going to mow it or whatever. The homeowner say from probably in the buffer zone, somewhere, depends. Right now, you have a new 25-foot no disturb zone now?
Not yet.
Not yet. I'll recommend, say, 25 feet or from the street to, around the street, they have, in the right of way, they get to do it, otherwise it doesn't look good. So from the edge of the right of way in to 25 feet here, you have to leave it like only mow it like twice a year. So not to impact the wetlands. But that one, I think have some good reason. I feel more reasonable and still not to causing the easement utility damage potential concerns.
So is it saying you're ready to switch gears?
Oh, yeah.
On your
Right.
question, on the agenda, it should have been 26, not
Oh.
23,
Oh, okay.
right?
I'm so lost
Yeah,
on those
yeah.
that corner and what numbers need to be used.
Yeah,
Well, that's just the
Yeah.
street address, that should
that's
have,
the street address.
Right.
so on the agenda, we need to make sure those are
lined
Yeah,
up.
for the willows, I did try to, I emailed Denise Child to, because they, when
Here,
they.
hold on. Let me get these guys with feet. So,
No,
yeah.
let's straighten out the sidewalks.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
Sidewalks.
What's
Sidewalks.
that?
Oh,
Site
yeah, straighten out the
Site
sidewalks.
walks.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Site walks.
Let's see,
Suddenly there's sidewalks in here. Sidewalks.
Yeah.
So
we
we
don't
have-
do sidewalks.
We
That's
have
just the board.
three, the Willow Road, the Washington Street, and then
Pond,
the dike.
Um, it's quite a lot.
yeah.
Mm.
do us first.
Yeah, if we do Willow Road first, then, I'm leaning towards doing both the ANRADs, and then if we have time to do Bulge Pond, we can on our own. And if not, then we'll do it another time.
Mm-hmm.
Although there isn't any snow on the ground, so we'd be saving ourselves pain.
Mm-hmm.
See how much talking Bill wants to do.
Yeah.
So, what, 9 o'clock?
Which Saturday are you speaking of?
This Saturday, day after tomorrow. 9 a.m.?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So 9 a.m. there, and then shouldn't take that long.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
So 53 Willow Road at 9 a.m.?
yeah,
Okay.
and then you can be at Washington Street at, you want to say 10 o'clock? You want to go quicker?
I bet you can get there faster, but 10's safe.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
How about say between 9:45 and 10?
all right.
Yeah.
We'll tell them 10 o'clock and we may get there earlier.
Yeah.
So,
If Cal can't get his guy out, do you still want to go on the sidewalk?
Well, if he wants a fast decision, then
Um,
we should.
Fair enough.
yeah.
It's
Okay.
it's pretty dense, and, I mean, it's very vegetated
Yeah.
in there. It's very hard to get through, I know.
I mean, he said he wanted, they would prefer faster action.
Fair enough.
Two of us can't the following
Brian,
Saturday.
can you get a clarification for Washington Street? Well, what's the best place to sort of park and then access it?
Underneath the power lines? On the
Do they
right-hand
own all
side?
that? Is that all their property?
I think that, well, the
Do you
best
know
place to park is actually on the right-hand side.
We're following you
Yeah.
from Willow
I-
Road.
Okay. I
Yeah,
think there's
I know-
enough,
I know
I think
that
there's
there's-
enough parking for
there's
like 3
Plenty of,
cars.
there's more than that, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
On the,
on the
yeah,
right,
right-hand side.
yeah, as you're going toward the
Yeah,
bus
there's no
stop.
parking on the left,
Mm-mm.
which is why I brought it up. I didn't know if there was, if you went up to Madigan Lane, if there was a way to.
I don't even think there's parking up in there.
backtrack. I've never been
I
on
don't
that
think
street.
so.
I'm following you.
Yeah,
So-
You got
park
that?
under the power line, you see where all the hunters
Yeah.
park.
Right,
And then
right,
I'm
right.
pretty sure that the first part of the walk up to and then down that Old Harbor Road
Yep,
is
yep.
pretty
Yeah, that's,
straightforward.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
What was I gonna say? Oh, where do we park for Willow Road?
So there's,
There's
So-
a turnouts he was talking about. If
Yeah,
you
just
cross the stream
to the
on
right.
your
Yeah, to the right-hand side, if
Left.
you're driving in on the left-hand side, after you pass the farmhouse, there's a curb cut in this, like a big lawn there.
Okay,
it looks like it belongs to the farmhouse.
Just before the,
But it's not, yeah.
for what?
the farmhouse. So there's the new houses going up.
The two new houses that
If
were up on Willow
you're
Road.
driving from the center of town out towards 2A on Willow Road,
Yeah, the long view just crosses.
On Willow
the
Road.
Willows would be on your left.
Yeah.
There's 2 houses close to the road
Yeah,
that are
With
kind
a
of separate
really
from the
steep, yeah,
Okay.
rest of the Willow Road development,
yeah,
the Willows development.
Yeah.
On the right, there's an old farmhouse. I think it has lions or something
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
on the,
yeah.
on
Yeah.
the posts.
yeah,
Before that.
Where they
house
used
is
to
what
be
they're
the
saying.
trailers,
Yeah,
okay.
and that's where we're going.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I understand.
Yeah, it's open, yeah, it's wide open here.
All right.
It's the lions that you said that, and it's like, ah.
Alrighty.
All right, so go ahead and talk about your Willow Road.
Right, so the Willows, Bill brought it up last meeting, he wanted to know what the story was. I got talking with Deshang, and basically Deshang is saying that because the relocation of 56 through 58 was denied, that involves, at some point in that process, Denise said that the mitigation didn't have to go forward.
Or they did, indirectly probably. I'm trying to get her to, or they don't deem that area is qualifying as degraded riverfront anymore because have topsoils, vegetation is all established. So that's why they denied us, even though I disagree with it. So because the reason is, at the time when we filed the relocation was still valid degraded area under the previous order conditions, but even though it's after 10 years. But they went there, checked it, and so that's why they turned us down.
So they're saying they're saying it wasn't previously degraded.
Yeah.
Therefore,
there's
if
no
it
more-
wasn't degraded, it doesn't need to be
Right. It's no more degraded. It's not degraded.
Restored.
Restored.
Yeah.
Restored, is it restored?
Right. Oh, yeah.
Mitigation activities,
Yeah, I
yeah.
know there's a slightly different
So then,
definition for both.
and you haven't gotten a letter from Denise on that?
No.
All right, so we don't have, we've got Deshang's interpretation, right? We don't have that from the horse's mouth, so to speak. But if it does turn out that that's so, do you have somewhere else to put that mitigation?
No, we just actually mitigated in that place, in place. So it's just a 4,000 square feet of extra area. It's not that big.
Right, but I'm saying that, however, there's 3 different mitigation areas that total X number of thousand square feet. And they are, the reason that those mitigation areas were required didn't go away. So there's still something to be mitigated. It just so happens that the footprint of mitigation you're saying is wrong. So that means the mitigation footprint needs to shift somewhere else.
No, not shifted. So in a way, where the area we are proposing for relocating the triplex, it's no more considered as area requires mitigation.
So you're back to the original mitigation area.
Yeah, that's original mitigation area means to some degree they consider this 10 years is already restored. So that riverfront area is natural. Well, actually, it's not natural.
Not really,
restored.
because there are a lot of invasives in there.
Yeah, no, that's in other places.
This is their natural.
Yeah,
Oh, they are?
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, that's why there's so many.
yeah. Actually, we put some loam there. We did it. Actually, when they built the other, they piled the loam in that area, cleared it out. That's why right now it doesn't look like much of invasive species. But that's
Can we
another.
continue this particular discussion when Bill's here too? Because I think he.
Well,
Yeah.
right, and what this really is gonna spin on is how Denise makes her case. Because if you interpret her one way, you get Deshang's interpretation. If you interpret her a slightly different way, you say, well, you don't. It's not that there's no mitigation required; it's that the mitigation needs to move. Because the let's call it 50,000 square feet total mitigation was required.
So let's get word from Denise and then
Yeah, if it's a
and
no.
readdress it when Bill's here.
Right, so, well, I did check with the client, so he said, as soon as in the spring, if the weather permits, and the nursery start getting plants stocked, you can buy, so we can start for the other places. So this disputed area or interpretation is only a very small section anyhow. So in a way you can interpreting originally, because right now, basically the relocation is already wiped out. There's no more there. All the restorations go back to the very original order. So therefore, it's the worst thing is whether this area need to be further doing any planting or not, in my interpretation. Or, because there's a loam there now, because when they did the construction, they put the loam, make that area clear it out, most of them. See what I mean? They only need very minor multi-floor roads compared with other places, or Russian olives is pretty much cleared out. There's, you know, in that area, the area we
Or next to the
proposed.
pond?
No, that, next to the pond still need to that area also cleared out, but they need a planting. So they most of the area for mitigation, original mitigation, they cleared it, but they haven't do all the planting.
They haven't done the planning yet.
Exactly, only the planting. So we proposed to do the planting. So that's technically,
Mhm.
that's the only thing left. Maybe there's still few threshing, you know, growing, spreading it out, so maybe at the same time we get to chop it out if we found it during the planting process.
Mhm.
But we are not going to do that 13,000 square feet for the relocation of that part, because that's basically stopped us. We can't do anymore. So it denied us. So, yeah, it's more like a timing. So whether we need to, that's only the 4,000 plus minus square feet area need to be planted. But I mean, I said probably let's forget it. I don't think, just as you said, even the deem is not degraded, you still can plant in it. It's mitigation. It's not like you do a house there. So if you put some more trees there, I don't think she will say, no, you cannot plant more trees there. You know what I mean? But whether it's considered degraded or not, it's irrelevant to some degree. Because they know they are fighting it themselves. They say they had a long discussion. I think they were wrong. You know, I just Natick, you know, we just had a case, the DEP Northeast, you know, that project is.
Which one?
The Ayer Street, you know, 100A, the one next to.
Oh,
South
yeah.
That's DEP.
They just had a motion to dismiss on that one.
Yeah. This one, you know, we almost have a similar case. We have 2-to-1, you know, restoration. Here they denied us. Over there they approved it. It's all DEP. One is Central Region, one is Northeast Region. But I'm not trying to making things any easier or harder. But that's just to say, why not we focus on, we get an agreement, we'll proceed in with just taking the relocation is already denied by DEP. We are not.
Yeah, that one's over.
Just treat it non-existent. Let's move back to the original order of condition mitigation requirements. Whatever we have to do in the spring planting, we do it. So that's what the clients told me. I think it's just make it a little bit easier, you know. I mean, otherwise, I don't have the time to keep calling her, and she probably, because they were in the first place, it was kind of struggling. So if I already asked her a couple of times, she doesn't want to put in writing. She said, oh, I can, you know, if you appeal, we can put in writing. Obviously I did. We didn't appeal. So,
All right, well, we'll continue this discussion.
right. Yeah, we still have a couple of months before that we can really do the planting anyhow, but that's what the plan.
And you're saying like that piece where you wanted to put the roof triplex
Triplex.
next to Unit 95,
Right.
you don't propose doing any mitigation, but you will do plantings.
Right.
Okay.
We are planting still mitigation. It's just so
But
we're not going to. It's
You're
not
not going to
needed.
change the
Exactly.
soil.
Right. You don't need to dig in the soils or whatever. Just need planting. There's not much more. I think there's only a few multi-floor rows there. Rather than that, I don't see much of plant control need to be done. Yeah, that's make it simple. Otherwise, it costs more money to go back and forth with DEP. You know, rather than. I think that's probably a better way for everybody.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
And we'll see you Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Bill is coming with the caveat that he reserves the right to say that he doesn't have enough information to prove based on the weather and the vegetation.
Which was the point I raised on his
Yes.
behalf.
Yeah. Which, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you
All right.
tell him
So
that?
there are
Did
no
you tell him that?
guarantees, but we're showing up.
Did you tell him that? Did you tell him that?
Understand. So all we can.
You got it. You got his back, Jess. We know.
I'm putting that in the minutes.
We'll back you up.
We'll go back, yes.
Jess
I remember just
Jess
like
is
that.
being a very good undersecretary of ANRAD affairs.
All right, update on Kohler Place?
Oh, gee. Yeah. So, the ground froze. AJ ceased removing boulders and such. This was before the holiday, and I didn't feel comfortable necessarily issuing a stronger violation or enforcement order, even though he had gone past the deadline that he and I had agreed to, in which was distributed.
Right,
So, I reached out to Bill about that. Bill took a pass, or it slipped, one or the other. And since the new year, he has had the no disturb line staked. The stake currently runs right about through the middle slope of his boulder pile, off the backside of lot 4. I've got some pictures, which I can pull out, but the argument he's making essentially is that work can't happen while the ground is frozen. In this thaw period we're in, I haven't heard from him this week, and the idea is that I suppose tomorrow I'll reach out to him and be like, look, we have some thaw. Are any rocks going to be moved out of the no disturb area?
But I don't understand if he's using heavy equipment to move those rocks because they're big.
Right, because they're
Why-
rocks, they're not
Why frozen
soil.
ground
Yeah,
makes
the-
a difference.
The ground's not frozen.
No.
And
That
so,
was a kind of an
the question for you guys is essentially, are you content with him moving at his own pace and dealing with this
Mhm.
slowly, or would you like me to use some stronger language, so to speak?
So lot 4 is when you're going down,
When you pull in,
when you pull in first to the left.
yeah,
Well, the houses are up now, right? So,
Yes.
So the 2 houses are up.
yes,
It's going to be very difficult now to get back in there.
right. So I could issue a
To-
stop
to-
work until this is resolved.
Okay.
And-
I think I'd be more comfortable with getting AJ in here talking to us,
Yeah.
and then we say, we'll issue a stop work, or we find out what he says, and then we can say it there, but I'd get him in here, wouldn't you?
The issue is just
Mm.
that he's got,
The issue is essentially one of pacing and whether or not his argument for his pace is a valid one, or if it's just like
but these rocks are piled up.
In the,
inside the no disturb line.
You just need to get them out.
Yeah,
it's blasting and.
it's
debris.
blasting
There's quite a
material
bit
that
of it.
overflowed.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
the
But
plan.
the rocks aren't in the ground.
No,
No, they're all on the ground.
they're both.
So
And if the ground's frozen, that's even better for using a big piece of machinery to
Right.
travel
Well,
across
right.
the ground.
But he
Right.
wasn't putting machinery down into the no disturb area, because that would screw things up. He was gonna have it up high.
Even better to have
and
frozen
take the
ground.
bucket. and-
Exactly.
Yeah, and bring it.
Your machine doesn't stink into the ground or fall.
Right, right.
Why
Yeah,
not,
Yeah.
I don't buy that.
why not say that, why not tell him, we'd like him to move forward on that. If he isn't able to move forward quickly,
Yeah.
then he needs to come into our next meeting.
Right. If there's a reason,
Yeah.
maybe he can communicate that.
But he has to come in.
Right, to
and
communicate
put-
the
yeah.
reason or,
And
So
not
Yeah.
just communicate to you, Brian, but come in and talk to
Right.
us.
yeah.
So you can see here. You see those little bright
Yep.
orange spikes.
Mhm.
That's the no disturb line.
Okay.
I'm standing in the wetland. This
Yeah.
is installed erosion control fencing,
Yep.
and those are boulders that either blew out or etc. And so you can see all of that needs
Yeah.
to be pulled
Mhm.
out. And
Yeah.
the idea is to work from the platform.
Yeah.
Um, which way am I going? Wrong way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So So here is the platform, in an earlier, so you can see that's, he would
Yeah.
sit his machine here, reach over the top and pull it out.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and
There's no,
the more frozen, the better.
So,
and
Yeah.
Brian, you would also looking, is it, can I see that picture?
Unless his cabin isn't heated.
No, do you have the one, you had been worried about house 4 having gone up and on all this pile
yeah,
of-
I am also worried that this is a loose debris field.
Well, then, on that one,
And this
Yeah,
house
it's-
lot is sort of built on, and if he kind of pulls all this up, and so now it's in, and if he there's this I'm afraid he's got grounds to say, oh, it would be too much of an economic impact because my house is going to fall over because we're going to destabilize the ground it's built on.
That's
but, so if that's a concern though, that's more all the
But it's a
reason
moot point
about-
at this point. Like the house is up.
But he should come and talk to us then. It's like,
You shouldn't have put the house up if,
right,
I mean,
So
You play,
So at this point, do you want me to just say, come to the next meeting and keep moving along at your own pace? Or do you want me to say, like, put an enforcement order out tomorrow and say, get
what do
on
we
it?
have on him now? Just a letter, or what?
Yeah. A letter from the middle of last month, early last month, which the terms still have not yet been fully.
and that was before the houses went up.
That was, the
Yeah.
foundation
The
was up at
foundations
that
were-
point,
were
and
in.
the frame was up. Now,
okay.
you can say the houses are up.
All right. Okay, so-
but I'd suggest having him come in.
Mhm.
What do you, George?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's not gonna be for 2 weeks though.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the deadline that we gave him?
Oh, it was like the 19th of December.
I think complicating this is the construction crews on the lot 4 are not AJ's, are they?
No, that's lot 3. Lot 3 is already somebody else, and somebody else is building lot 3. Lot 4, as far as I know, is still AJ's.
And lot 3 is the further one.
So there's AJ's house down at the bottom.
Yeah.
And then there's 2 houses on your left.
Right.
And the
Right.
first house is the one we're talking about. The second house is somebody else's, that somebody else is building.
Right, okay, that's what I meant, the farther.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So the first one we have
The
influence.
first one, as far as I know, is
Yeah.
still AJ's. That's the one for his in-laws, I think.
No, I thought that one was the one,
Well, whatever, that's not the point.
no, but I mean,
I'm pretty
but
sure
it's, if it's AJ's building it though, it is a point.
it's
Because
AJ's
that's-
building it, whether or not it's
Mm.
the
So
Yeah.
these rocks aren't hurting anything currently, right?
No, they're just rocks.
So, I mean, I think his excuse is a bunch of hooey, but I'm willing to
I was thinking of that.
just ask him to come in and we can just tell him to
Okay.
come up with a better excuse, because that's not a good excuse.
And the, I think the silt fencing, so there's
Yeah,
right
he's got
road.
silt fencing installed in the no disturb area, which he put in because all the blasting went so far that he felt like he needed to protect the wetland, so he put it in the wetland.
Which,
It was good intention.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
But also the fencing, going in from Wright Road, turning right toward the pond, that silt fencing is down in a whole lot of places. Right now, that's not an erosion fencing, I think it was more for the natural heritage and the turtle.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
it's
Where?
Wright Road,
Yeah.
okay, going to the right, heading towards Sandy Pond.
By AJ's house?
No, by the one that's,
Up the cliff?
yeah, well, what cliff?
The ledge that he blasted?
Yeah.
What's on the right?
Well, there's
The
AJ,
right-hand
yeah,
side.
wait a minute, yeah.
The right-hand side.
Yeah, there's AJ's
The lot.
house, then there's the house that isn't framed yet, although they just started putting in the sill. And along that silt fencing is.
I walked that in on like the 15th of December, and it was low, but
No, it's down now.
now it's down.
You know, my dog could walk over it.
Hmm.
So, I mean, it's not crucial for the erosion control in that area right now, but natural heritage in spring, that's,
Spring is gonna be a concern.
yeah.
Fair enough.
They've got a lot of, I mean, they've been taking down part of the boulder pile on that side. And I think in the process, more of that fencing has been flattened,
Mm.
Yeah.
so I could get across it. It's flat. So,
So another topic to
yeah,
be on. Okay. So that's that.
so you're gonna have him come into our next meeting?
Yeah. I'll just, and I'll leave it at that.
And what's the status on the conservation restriction?
No news.
Where is it though? I mean, is it still in AJ's hands or has it been submitted to the state?
No news.
No.
He gave me a draft of it. What was that, November? And looked good then. This was the baseline document from
Oxbow.
thank you. And that looked lovely. There was some interesting stuff in it, and it came up for the pond report for the management plan, but no news since
But
that draft.
Natural Heritage had allowed him to start work up again in September based on the assumption
October.
October,
Yeah.
that he got all those things done and that the CR was now proceeding.
Right, and for all I know, it
So
still
he-
is, but that's
Yeah. So he should-
our end is clear.
Yeah.
He might be talking to the state without talking to us, but I have no updates.
We can ask.
In terms of like putting signage up, because he was.
He put the signs up,
So signs are up and.
and he
I think
paid
they
me for
wanted
them.
They wanted the CR in process.
Uh-huh.
No, sorry, he didn't pay me for them. He took 20 from us, installed them, and then gave me back 60.
I mean, did that bill get paid, as it turned out?
Yeah, that never showed up again. That was so it was a good trade.
Yeah.
So that's what's going on there. In the administrator updates, we have some signatories that need to be done. Lisa, I need you guys to sign off on basically saying this is what your capital assets are. It's just the land. So I just need you to sign that. But that's a running discussion, and hopefully the next time this comes through, it will be different. And flip it over to the other sheet, because I thought I could sign, and Lisa said she wants you guys to sign it. So if you look at your map, the parcels in green are the ones that I think belong to Concom, or should be transferred from the selectmen to Concom.
Are these the ones on this sheet?
No, on your map. There are 4 properties that the town currently says the commission owns,
Yeah.
and I've got a bigger list. And so I've had a chat with Robert, I've had a chat with Tom, and that's sort of the project I'm in the middle of.
Yeah, Robert, yeah, I mean, I think in terms of, like expanding the job to cover land management practices, I mean, it still has to come through us first. before
Well,
we
not
talk
just
about
even
it.
land management. The first thing is, if you look at your legend, the commission owns or should own outright, several hundred acres, and then the conservation restrictions
Right.
through the commission are another several hundred. And so just keeping up with the bare minimum.
Right, but it seemed to me because Robert copied Bill and me on
Right,
the plot,
right.
and that to clear those things up at this point would cost a lot of town council money.
Yeah, and he and I had that chat, and he knows what the story is, because this isn't, this is like good government. It was granted to the commission in town meeting, and then nobody followed up on it.
Right.
And so, yes, you're not wrong. And he knows, and he understands, and, we'll figure it out. It's in the pipeline, figuring out what needs to be, for instance, a pertinent legal matter right now. If you look at the northeast corner, there's a square parcel up by Spectacle Pond, and it's currently listed as belonging to the water department. And it was given to the commission in town meeting.
Well, I think this is where the wellheads are, right?
No, the wellheads go down a little
Right
bit.
here?
Yeah, the wells are over
Right
there.
in here? These are where the wellheads are?
You see room for another property in between the outline ones.
Which one are you talking about?
So this is where the wells are, that little white square.
Oh, okay.
There's two parcels here. The big one, I'm pretty sure, is the Conservation Commission's. My problem is that every reference I have to this property being transferred to the commission has a different number of acres involved. And so I don't know if it's some portion of that property, or if it includes some of this other one that I have listed as DPW. So that was the Mini French Bird Sanctuary for 30 years. And the commission managed it as a bird sanctuary.
Maybe turning into a dog park.
They'd have to be able to swim.
Yeah.
That's what happened in Groton Place.
But this big square one above it, over here, is listed as belonging to the water department. And in town meeting, it was given to the commission. And so, that, for instance, needs to be straightened out, because if, say, Mark Wetzel wants to put a well in, if it's his, it's an NOI. If it's ours, that's a different conversation.
So does Robert want to sort of sit down with us and others and?
Oh yeah, no, we had this
and-
chat this morning. I had a meeting with him
kind
this
of
morning.
review? 'Cause-
But for the moment, for Lisa's purposes, I need you guys to sign that document saying that
So we're just mixing two.
So what does signing this document do?
it
Brian?
basically asserts that we agree that those are the capital, not capital, it says on the cover sheet.
Fixed assets.
Thank you.
So these fixed assets belong to Ayer,
To the commission.
to the commission.
We sign it every year.
But they belong, we sign it every year?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But the thing is, it's wrong, and I'm gonna fix it.
What's wrong about it?
Well, it's incomplete.
It's
No,
incomplete.
So for instance, I was looking at the deed for the Pine Meadow land, and the commission's not mentioned.
On the deed?
Yeah,
Who's mentioned?
the town. That needs fixing.
Okay, so we
Right.
should,
So I'm in the process of going through all these little things and making sure that all our I's are dotted and our T's are crossed.
we're not doing any town council work at this point.
No.
And if we do that, we think we should, as a commission, decide that,
Well, yeah, and
or we request that.
Yeah,
well, and it's all gonna go through Robert as well,
yeah,
because right now the town council budget is Robert's budget.
yeah.
So theoretically, by the time it gets to you guys, we're gonna have some very simple options rather than a complex mess of legalities. But
Wait a minute. How would we get to a simple form without?
because I would do all the legwork and be able to say that this parcel is square and it's
Yeah.
deeded to the Concom, like down if you get yourself over to Fox Run Drive off of Snake Hill Road by the K in Snake, the larger green parcel there has been deeded to the commission. That one's square. That's parcel H2, I believe.
That's where the dog park is.
No, across the street is where the dog park is supposed to go. There's another parcel out here that is, that's the dog park on the other side of the K. The current large one is a big swamp.
I know, but there's a fence that runs.
Right, that's on the
Yeah.
other side of the street.
The Epic Enterprise one,
Yeah.
or whatever.
Right, that's the other side of Snake Hill Road, literally over there. But that one is square. That's deeded to the Concom. The two little pieces sticking out from it, where I have the arrow and the circles, because the circles actually moved. My map shifted on me, and I didn't notice. Those actually have been, the deeds have been given to the town according to Steve Mulaney and the town has not recorded them.
Those are those 2 house lots.
Yeah, one I think is a detention basin,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but they've, according to Steve, it's on us to record that.
It's on
And-
the conservation?
No, it's on the town.
Town.
That's for the town, that's not for us.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But there's swamps and anyway. So
But how much legwork are you putting on this right now?
opportunistically, because this and the NOI tracking is what I spend my time on mostly. The conservation restrictions, I'm also hunting down because like the Stratton Hill, the deed and trust lands that I highlighted here, I've got draft copies of those, but I've got no documents saying they were ever recorded.
And they never were.
And so, what's up with that? Because I know that there was Audubon got involved up there, and like they own some land, and
On the Groton side.
On the ground.
okay. So that's just confusions because the paperwork now that the files are a little cleaner, I can find these hiccups, and this just goes along with cleaning up the outstanding NOIs that need COCs.
So is this helping you clean up the NOIs? Or is it something completely separate?
They're more like forks in the road, same road,
Mm-hmm.
different directions. Because some of these are linked to the NOIs.
Mm-hmm.
Like the land donations are generally not part of an NOI. They're part of town meeting. The conservation easements are part of many of the NOIs. And then, in talking about what the job description is, theoretically, this office is supposed to be looking after 430 odd acres of land in town. And yeah, it might be municipal, it might be general town purposes, it might be the selectmen, but it's wetlands, and not like barely wetlands, And so that's the discussion too with Robert, is saying, look, if the selectmen have a swamp for general municipal purposes, what are you gonna do with it? And and should that be shifted to this office?
And that's a discussion for us as a whole about the degree to which we want you to be managing land.
Well, and the question of managing land, it can be a really big word or it can be a fairly small word.
Right.
It could be the annual making sure nobody's living there and nobody's dumped a car there trip. Or it could be, getting out there with a chainsaw and, making habitat and keeping the invasives out and, maybe building trail. There's...
Well, I think it's, I think there's a benefit of being all in the know, right?
Yeah.
And it helps move us, I think, as a commission forward into the future, right?
Well, and it also pairs up with the Chapter 61 question, because Robert's budget going forward will include some Chapter 61 assessments. If something comes out, Chapter 61, and we want to look into it for purchase for the town, they'll have some money available for that. And as you can see here, there are some Chapter 61 parcels that line up nicely with land or conservation restrictions that we already have. And, this kind of map would, be involved in prioritizing, those sorts of acquisitions should those conversations come up.
Mm-hmm. I think it's also important to know, in terms of like what Jess mentioned is, how many COCs do we have outstanding too, right?
Lots.
Right?
Lots.
And creating a list of those properties so that we can
Right.
kind of
And
start checking those off.
yeah, I've got, I've got 200 or 300 lines of entry that I've done in the last couple of weeks, and I've probably got 600 or 700 or 800 more to do before that's actually done.
Wow.
So don't hold your breath for that one, but
Yeah, because I mean, it's going to be harder because, the longer they lapse,
Yeah.
it's almost like,
But while I'm not digging my eyes out with a spoon after staring at a screen, I go hunting through the papers and
Yeah.
trying to
Yeah.
find out if we're actually doing what we're supposed to be doing, and if we're square,
yeah,
from a
Yeah.
legal standpoint.
yeah.
Because up here, one of these Chapter 61 pieces, the big one that I don't know. I think it has a little bit of a Texan look to it with the way it's shaped. I'm pretty sure that in the 40s, that land was taken for tax purposes. The commission started managing it as town forest. They did some replanting up there on some cleared land. And then in the mid-70s, the heirs of the person from whom that land was taken sold their claim to a pair of people, two men who took the town to court and won the case. And then turned around and sold that land for like $20,000. And currently Calvin owns it.
Calvin owns it, yeah.
And so the lesson that I'm looking for is from land court to say, you guys did not transfer this to the commission. It was still, in tax title. Therefore, land law bidding and purchasing applies, and just because the commission's managing it doesn't mean anything. And so, I'm sure Takashi has a handful of horror stories from other towns that he knows about land held the wrong way being pulled out from under, commissioners and open space people. So that's going on there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the other detail is the budget, and to have you guys approve this, I met with Robert. He wrote he wrote one email, and Cindy wrote the other.
Sign this one off first.
Oh, sorry, I thought you already had. I'm just on my train tracks,
Yeah.
chugging away.
So we got Groton Harvard Road, 121.5 acres. Sandy Pond Road, 0.4 acres. Oak Ridge Drive, 5.53 acres. Snake Hill Road, 7.62 acres. Any objections?
Where's the Sandy Pond Road property?
This one.
It's actually old Sandy Pond Road.
What?
It's a spot. If you drive down it, you can see the Beaver Lodge in between two houses. I'm pretty
So the lot goes out into the pond?
Yeah. Personally, I think we need to put canoe access there in terms of land management. Go out and actually clear a path.
The houses are kind
Well, the thing is, that's just it. There's nothing to put there, and those guys think it's their yard probably.
of, there's really no,
But yeah, you put in 10 feet of you move the grass out with a rake, and you've got a boat launch for portage. But it's another story.
Okay.
So then the budget. I had a talk with Cindy, and this is her summary of my phone options that Robert asked, to have a phone for the field for the CA, so that I'm not using my own personal phone. If I get the iPhone or the wireless access device, this is all up to Cindy basically. It can tether to the iPad, so then I can get data use on the iPad and actually do geo activities, take data in the field and collect in geospatial information.
Can you just wait till Tuesday? I think Bill was going to want to weigh in on this.
Well, the budget's due tomorrow.
Oh.
What are the differences in cost from
Well, the phone thing, basically, Robert said, whatever.
So we have to say whatever too.
Right.
So what are the differences?
Well, hold on a second. So then the other thing we put in is a 25K line item for pond management for fiscal year 18. And we're putting in a 10K line item for, on your map, where it's got 10K survey work pointed out. This is the Mountain Laurel Drive conservation restriction that I found earlier in the summer that's a hot mess. And so that's sort of where the whatever comes from. We're putting in 35K. The phone tethering, the phone would be free. The iPhone would be $50 a month plus another $10 extra for tethering. So it'd be $60 a month to have the phone plus this.
The phone would be free, and the phone is an iPhone?
Yeah.
Okay, that was.
And then the wireless access point, if I were to not get an iPhone and to instead have a flip phone, which would be a $25 a month plan, we would also get a wireless access point, which would be $40 a month. And that would just be like a mobile hotspot so that, you know, if I'm down in a ravine, I can still map something. So, you know, it's cheaper to get the iPhone by $10.
But
$5.
we can wait till Tuesday?
Well, the deadline that Robert asked for is tomorrow.
So this has to go into the budget.
Right. And the thing is,
For-
currently there's no budget there. There's no budget committee. And so there won't be any fiscal committee reviewing this because the chair.
No FinCom meeting?
Thank you.
There's no FinCom.
Right. The chair just excused themselves. And so now they're down to 2 members, which is, you can't have quorum.
Really?
So this process is all going to move on its own, and there may be a second or a third phase of this. But you know, the town hall deadline for this is tomorrow. And then the salary will change according to the union contract negotiations that are yet to happen. So
Question, the iPad we have can do wireless stuff in the field, right?
it is capable,
Yeah.
but we opted to not get that service turned on because it was a part-time gig, and so we didn't want to spend the money on like a one day in the field kind of tool. Now with the full-time capabilities, you know, if I'm gonna go out and actually do stuff, it makes the tool, you know, more useful. And I have to have the phone because IT and Robert and etc.
What are they doing in Groton?
And then you give me a phone, then you give me an iPad. They're cutting my land management budget too.
You can borrow mine.
Consider yourself lucky. I have no idea. I have no experience.
Cindy's got her act together. She's doing good things with the IT.
So what's the cheapest phone and what's the?
Well, she has a budget.
She has a budget.
Yeah.
Yeah. The cheapest, so all the phones are free.
Okay.
The plan for a flip phone is $25.
Okay.
And yes.
Okay.
And that would not help the iPad be a better tool. The iPhone is, what's it say, $40 a month?
49?
$50 a month for the iPhone. And then it's another $10 a month to tether the iPhone to the iPad, which basically means I would be running my satellites and my cellular and everything from here through the iPhone, and then so it's making the iPhone would be the mobile hotspot for this. The mobile hotspot, if we didn't get the iPhone, the mobile hotspot for this is $40 a month. If you'd like, actually, this might be simpler.
So we've got $25 a month for the flip phone, $50 a month for the iPhone, $60 a month for the iPhone with tethering, and mobile hotspot is,
The one at the bottom.
yeah.
And so the mobile hotspot, we would only get if we got the flip phone.
If we got, okay.
Because tethering and the mobile hotspot functionally are the same thing for the iPad.
And this is with like with a discount with, because you're going in
Yeah.
with the plan, with the,
Sorry?
is this part of a plan? You know, it's like a family plan, you know, you can,
Oh,
With,
yeah,
more
it's
phones,
a town plan
town
kind of
plan.
thing, yeah. I don't know any of the details,
huh,
other than that the phone is free and the monthly fees come out of this budget. But the hardware comes out of the IT budget.
mm-hmm.
You know who the carrier is?
No.
I sort of feel like we should begin conservatively, budget-wise.
Right.
We haven't had a phone, but we do need, being full-time, that seems to me Roberts wants the town to be able to reach you.
Right. And they want to not do it
And they-
onto my phone because
Right.
government,
So the
open rules.
most economical way for that would be the $25 a month flip phone.
Agreed.
Right.
And
And everything else now we're adding icing to, which may be useful, but I don't know.
well, let's put it this way. I can't collect any geospatial data on this in the field at the moment. This is acting as a glorified camera, primarily, which is lovely. It works very well for that.
Geospatial, you say?
Yeah.
D.
And so, in a manner of speaking, you know, the tethering would say, allow me to walk one of these lines, like the YANRADs, collect that data, bring it back to the office and see it visually, and say integrate it into a map like this, and then be able to show you guys, like, this may be where, so for instance, the map upstairs, I could actually have that live, adapting and changing, and rather than having the flyover wetland, I could actually say this is where the wetland is in town because we've had it flagged and we've agreed on it. And, you know, perhaps the applicant didn't submit the file, the GIS work, but I can go out and collect that, you know, or other similar situations. Right now, to turn that on, that feature on here is,
We're talking under $1,000 either way.
did you say $100,000?
No, under 1,000.
Oh, yeah. I'm getting to the end of my day.
So I don't see it as a big deal.
Well, which mean going for the more expensive one?
Yeah.
I mean, it's 60 versus 30, right?
Basically.
It's double.
Takashi's just, you know, being a good agent without all the fancy tools. So he just thinks I'm getting soft.
I just feel like we just
Yeah,
asked
learn how to calculate the
Yeah.
angle of the sun
Yeah.
at the time of day.
Yeah.
Stick up your finger and get the wind and all that. Yeah, you're fine. You don't need to figure out phones.
I feel like we just asked the town to do a big raise in our budget by changing the job to full-time.
Oh yeah, and then don't forget, the $25,000 is gonna be an annual line item.
Right. So I just wonder, just for the sake of appearance, what it looks like if we're just sort of going for the Cadillac level right away. And I'm a little hesitant for that. And I know residents have, and my neighbors especially, all looked at their tax bills recently, which have all gone up a good percentage. So I'm just trying to think of what, that would be my view. So you guys can all differ.
You know, my take obviously is that you're not wrong. It just makes me less capable, you know, doing my job. And so, you know, if you're comfortable with that, that's one thing. But if you want me to be able to do more in the woods, that's $30 more a month.
Well, can plans change year to year? I mean, let's just say, you know, we opt for the flip phone this year. Next year, if there really is a huge need for, you know, you to have that in the field, then it can be expanded.
Well, couldn't we go with the flip phone, and then if like by summer we decided we did need the more, we could, for the year, make up the difference with the wetland fund? Could it be for wetland purposes?
Well, actually, you're already doing that because this is a fiscal year 18 budget.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, that's okay. That's
so
18.
this concept
Yeah.
wouldn't kick in until what, June?
Yeah, yeah, that's right, yeah.
So we're already sort of.
I know, I forgot, it's not the 17 budget, it's the 18 budget.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I've expressed my opinion. It's your turns.
Yeah, who wants to talk about the 25K or the 10K?
Yeah, that's,
Well, 25K is the pond thing, so yeah.
right,
Yeah, I mean, we've discussed 25K with everybody already.
yeah.
10K I can see causing problems because we're
Mhm.
basically paying a lot to fix somebody else's mistake.
Yeah,
And in all of that, a few $100 is not going to be discussed. It's just going to say phone, you know. And nobody's going to know the details or the options.
And
yeah.
Is that the email from Robert?
Yeah. I think
Oh,
it's
yeah,
the
this
bigger
is-
line items are gonna
Yeah.
have more of a.
that's the email from Robert. He was planning on coming, and he sent that to you and Bill.
Yeah, no.
You got it? Okay. And so he just begged out at 4 o'clock. And so if you guys want to see what he. So yeah, you know, if you guys want to sign off on this, essentially I would make it more formal tomorrow and just clip the two of them together and turn it in.
I prefer to wait.
I prefer to wait.
I don't think a day is going to make a big deal. I think you'll understand.
Fair enough.
So the commission refused to act until its chair was.
Yeah.
One
Out of
commissioner
your
has absolutely
control.
no idea how to
Hmm?
assess technology in this day and age because he's still living
Yeah.
on a rock, and the rest of them wanted to defer until Bill was here.
Yeah, Mr. Cell Phone. Mr. Cell Phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Smoke signals look great, but it's,
Well, I mean, in Groton, I mean, they don't even have cell signals.
this is true. This is true. People are
Nobody
not to-
communicates with
People are
one
not about
another.
their calls.
Oh, Chip and I have a.
You have to get.
Yeah.
They'd have to buy you your own cell tower. You'd be out there like tracking ducks with your.
You go to the store and everybody's clumsy.
I'm glad you got that, George, because I was laughing at my own joke well before they even noticed I'm speaking.
All right, so we're going to defer that,
Yeah.
and we're going
Because their taxes are way higher.
Yeah, that's
I
right.
sort of need to get home shortly.
Yeah.
So yeah, at this point, I got the. They're having this conference. You may have heard of it, annual MACC thing. They sent some mail.
Mhm.
If you want to see that, I've got it. And other than that, that's about it. I've been doing land, COCs, land, COCs.
Keeping your logbook.
I brought it. I
800
still think it's
COCs,
silly,
huh?
but I brought it.
Wow.
How's that possible?
What? Me thinking something silly?
Well, the number of COCs we issued should equal the number of permits we've issued.
Yeah. Yeah, how many permits have we issued?
I guess you could have partials.
398.
Yeah, we're
is the,
approaching 400.
Yeah. I bet you half of them don't have COCs.
200.
Educated guess at the moment.
Half of them.
Did you all see the thing sent from Alan Minoyan about the having
Oh, yeah. Forgot about that.
interboard meeting on Wednesday, January 25th, I think, with all the boards.
He apparently spoke to Bill this morning, and they had a lovely chat and very enthusiastic. And Alan wanted to come to this to give you guys all his pitch in person, and then couldn't come.
Yeah.
And so,
Like planning board, zoning board, CPC, open space master plan.
This is the invitational.
Yeah,
yeah,
with
He's-
food.
he's gonna
Oh.
have food.
Yeah.
He's gonna have a classical harpist
Yeah.
And he's going to have the drama club from the high school reading dramatically from master plans from the 60s, 70s, and 80s.
Wow.
So that's the 25th, 6:30.
I'm gonna have to get that on my
Yeah.
calendar.
Have we gotten any RFP responses?
We had one company from California ask a question, and Solitude wrote to check in, and I was like, oh, right, this happened.
So Solitude knows about it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to make sure they know.
Yeah, I thought I told him in December, and I didn't.
Okay.
So the one who wrote in asked an either or question. So I'd probably refine my responses in the future to say, not that, yeah, you're right, your interpretation is correct, but more, your interpretation either or is correct. Yeah. Well, because
This might have made sense an hour ago.
yeah, yes, he said, you know, is it accurate to assume that the RFP is for treating the ponds, or is it also to do a management plan?
Oh, yeah, I read that a little differently. I read it, are you doing pond treatment, or is this something that is also for management? And I thought that the answer I gave was that, yes, this is for treatment.
And then he said, yes, your interpretation is correct. If I were reading, I
Yeah.
would say, which of those two interpretations
Are
are you
correct.
writing?
Yeah. So this is one of those comma versus semicolon
Yeah.
kind of,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Pond and Dam Community Preservation, Stormwater Greenway, Open Space and Rec Plan, Master Plan. Anybody have anything to say?
I have not.
Motion to adjourn?
I would have had something to say on CPC.
Too late. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.